I'm wearing sunglasses to hide the the bags under my eyes, the West bags. So, you know, I'm really tired right now. So, please do not mind my fucking eyes. Thank you. What's up, people? What's up? Show us the black eye. Dude, I like normally, I'm like used to getting a little amount of sleep, but like I always have like one day a week where it's like my 13 hours of sleep, like recovery day. I haven't had that recovery day in like 2 weeks. And like I've lost my internal dialogue. I've like, I feel like I have dementia. It's so crazy. It's like worse than pulling an all-nighter. Like I did 8 hours of sleep last night, but that's not enough to recover from like 2 weeks of like doing anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. If you don't sleep, your grades will slip. I know. That's why I'm a drug addict. You say you can be easily taken. Like the other night, dude, I actually just like doxed a chatter. Like I just like straight up, I just like doxed somebody. That's how tired I am, man. I'm just like out here like doxing people. Hold on, where is it? I need to find a very important piece of context. All right. Dude, it's all filtered by fucking heart. Hold on. In IC, doxing. I'm pulling up the chatter's docs. Dude, where is this shit? Fuck, I can't find it. No, I got it. I think I got it. I think I got it. So basically, I like leaked this guy's face. Um, but it's okay because like I apologize for it and like I'll show you. Hold on. It was a really heartfelt apology. I like bought him a card, okay? And I need your take on this. Like, if this is like an appropriate apology, like if this is sufficient in your eyes, okay? I put a lot of effort into buying this card. Bro, bro. Why is it not my car, dude? The fucking cabal is trying to sabotage my ass right now because Don Lips kicked me out, so they're not even letting me like pull up like the pictures I need and shit. Like, what's going on here? All right, I put a lot of effort into this fucking card. Now I can't pull it up. So, what are your thoughts on this? Okay, it worked. It worked. He said it's okay when I sent this to him. Thoughts? Opinions? I feel like this, honestly, is really heartfelt. I think I should be forgiven over this. Speaking of doxing, there is a Diorio chatter and listen, folks, whether it's true or not, we'll leave that one up for debate, of course. But there is a Diorio chatter that actively believes that me and my community are attempting to hunt them down. Now, I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to say it's true either, of course. But I just want to take a quick gander at this. Why are threads just like not coming up right now? Oh, great, dude. I can't even see the fucking threads. Sick, man. So fucking cool. So cool, bro. Can't even see the fucking thread. Keyboard's double typing. Great fucking stream. It's this person. just to be clear, I was able to dig this tweet up with no help, by the way. Nobody helped me find this tweet. It's this person. Motherfucker, you've destroyed the commentary community. Everyone is fighting each other because you keep pulling shit. Dude, I just miss when, like, we were all, like, being wholesome little friends going after Boblax 20 fucking times. When did we start, like, internal criticism? I just miss when my comfort streamers were wholesome and friends. $5 from Benzin. Who got doxxed? A Bayou. Listen, folks, I can't find because somebody, probably Ellie, my worst mod, who is only good at one thing, and that one thing is eating. Okay, she's very large. But there was a like little thread on these leaks, and now I can't find them. But this chatter has accused me of trying to get their full name released. So I don't know what's going on here, man. You're off. Ellie wants me to be like a flamer and be like, you go, girl. You look so good. You look so not 500 pounds right now, girl. Slay. Like, are we supposed to ignore the elephant in the room? Are we supposed to ignore? Are we supposed to ignore the elephant in the room? The 500-pound mass that's you? Anyways. There's something I had to get. Dude, I stole the anyways thing from Chud. I gotta be honest. I can't stop anyways posting, bro. Wait, hold on. I gotta fix one thing real quick. There we go. Don't want you to see my address posted in the background of my apartment. Five from Call Me Bruh. Orders understood, boss. Will have his name. Disavow. Disavow. This guy calls me fat because he's running from his homosexuality, by the way. What does this mean? What's this person fucking saying? This person's crazy, unhinged, delusional. But Ellie actually gave me a good topic, okay? So I'll pretend that she's normal weight for tonight. But to get things started, folks, to kick things off, there is a 12-year-old going viral online for, I guess, saying 6'7". I don't know, like, what the joke is. But everyone keeps referencing it, and I was like, okay, what the fuck is everybody, like, referring to here? So I just looked it up. I looked up... Whoa.
Who is this?
Whoa! Okay, I don't want to spoil it too soon. Hold on. Want to pull this one up. Lucky for me, I found a channel where he's just like, do not accidentally put YTT instead of YT when you're looking up YouTube, because the first thing you're gonna get is a hashtag. This is YTT, and it's like bent over fucking women. Okay, anyways, sorry. So, to learn about the 6'7" kid, I found this guy by the name of Hoopify that is going to break it down for us here today on the Aiden Show. Dude, is Destiny really only live to 1.9K? That's really sad, man. All right, wait, hold on. Last minute check. Okay. Let's check this out, guys. Let's check this out. Get this off screen. And let me delete it this time because I drag images off screen and forget I have like 8,000 images in like my OBS. Okay, get this guy off too. Don't worry, sir. We're not looking for your name right now. So this guy is here to break it down for us. Let's check it out. And I want you to pay very, very close attention to a certain detail in this video.
6'7" kid is beefing with Mr. 6'7". The 6'7" kid was recently on the Bobo podcast and said this.
And do you have beef with any of the other 6'7" kids?
Yeah.
You do?
Who do you think is the true
Notice anything yet? Notice anything yet? Because I certainly did when I first saw this. Bro. Dude. At least get a shirt with a higher, like, collar or so. That is gnarly, bro. That, like, I've never seen, like, a fucking zit that is more ready to be popped than that one is. It's like trying to break out from your fucking throat. That is like I'm honestly, like, I feel that thing. When I look at this picture, I'm like feeling it. It probably hurts. It's like inflamed as fuck. It probably hurts, bro. I just want to like reach out into this, like poke that shit. So yikes. I'm just like sitting there like flinching, ready for like the moment while he's like talking about the 6'7" kid for this shit to like burst into the fucking camera. This has to be on purpose. I think this guy's whole like gimmick is partially on purpose because he just like covers like drama between like children online. It's like it's probably just like a big bit or whatever because he does like things that are very like blatantly
Who is this
obnoxious, like in this one.
12-year-old that is going viral for saying 6'7"? This is Maverick Trey Villain, aka the 6'7" kid.
We're on 5.
After becoming a meme, the 6'7" kid upgraded his hair by
And the comments talk about it. The comments talk about it. I know it's bait. I know it's bait. I know it's bait. Okay, but it's kind of funny. I want to pretend it's real for a minute. Anyways. How, like, that's gonna be my new Dono sound. There's no way the pimple is just... Maybe he got, like, a full, like, makeup artist or something. But anyways, Tectone, Schrodinger's tough guy, has an announcement he wants to make. I call him Schrodinger's tough guy because he tries to, like, be like, yeah, I'm based, America. I hit the gym. All the haters suck. Like, quote tweeting and, like, dunking on, like, random, like, transgenders on Twitter. It's like, he's, like, being, like, the tough badass. And then, like, whenever, like, his ego, and he has a very fragile but overwhelmingly large ego. Whenever there's like a spear thrown at it and there's a little crack, he turns into and this is not, it is manipulative, by the way. It is intentional, but he turns into like a little crybaby bitch. Okay, this guy has cried on stream multiple fucking times and played victim multiple fucking times where he had no right to be playing the victim. Also, he, like, watches everything about him and reads everything about him. I'm blocked by him. I don't know how, but I guess I am. And normally I don't, like, care about, like... It's, like, I think it's, like, at this point, like, super gay when you're, like, tweeting out such and such blocked you. Like, I totally own that guy. or whatever. Like, block people. Who gives a fuck? But like, this guy's so sensitive, and I guess he has an announcement to make.
What's up, guys? This is now my third time trying to record this video.
Up. He's got. You ever seen remember the like old like manipulative YouTuber apology videos? And there was like a checklist for a YouTuber. He's already got like, I don't even know if he's apologizing for anything, but he's like started off with the tactic like, yeah, I'm kind of like filming this video on this, or yeah, I've tried to film this video a few times. I mean.
I think that goes to show just how fucked up I am, because I'm usually like a one-take guy. It's been a couple days. I've been gone for about 5 days. Maybe you haven't even noticed. You probably haven't even noticed.
Oh, it's like, oh my god, dude. It's like the fucking like, it's like the girls who are like, look how ugly I look, and she like posts like the best photo that she could like manage to find after going on like a fucking safari in her camera roll that shit's like edited to fuck, and she's like, don't I look ugly, guys? It's like, I'm sure you guys didn't even notice. I'm sure you guys didn't even notice I was gone. It's like, you know exactly, like your fucking like 50 IQ like 12-year-old fan base is gonna be like, Techie, we're here for you, man. We're here for you, Techie.
If you see this video, it means I'm already gone. Title of the video. Techie, I thought you were dead. This video title scared the shit out of me. You can never stop clickbaiting, man. That's the name of the fucking game. Maybe some of you guys have...
I love all like the dead skin and like hair on his like fucking shirt. Get a lint brush. Change your shirt. Exfoliate. There is like enough dead skin cells sitting on your like dirty ass, sweaty ass, smelly ass fucking tank top where you could probably like fuse them together and build like a skin suit.
Notice the
He's like molting. He's like a fucking lizard. He's like molting.
stopping of YouTube.
We've even got a dead skin cell on his eyebrow.
Uploads. Maybe some of you guys have noticed the stopping of YouTube streams and Twitch streams and even Twitter posts. But I've now been content creation free for a while now, and just to get...
This is also why I don't have beard. Like, people who have a beard somehow, not except the hipsters. The hipsters have beards, but always manage to look clean. But like people, there's always like, or if you have like a dog that sheds a fuck ton, there is always hair all over these people. But there's like hair, there's hair on the shirt. There's fucking hair in the car. It's like really disgusting to just like have hair just like sitting.
The TLDR. This is gonna be a pretty rambly video, so I mean, maybe some of you guys will like it, maybe some of you guys won't. But I'm gonna be gone for a while, guys. And
Cope, you want to bet? I can grow a fire ass mustache. Should we bring it back, boys? Well, I wasn't streaming the year I grew. Okay, very convenient. Should we bring it back? I could bring it back.
I want to let you know, if any of you guys think it's because of me streaming or me being stressed because of the YouTube's, upload schedule, it's not. I love content creation.
I'm such a victim. Don't worry. I'm totally, not upset about all the horrible things happening to me that I tell you about all the time. I don't want you to feel bad for me or think it's about that. This guy is such a bitch. This guy is a total fucking bitch. Okay? He's not even like the cool type of narcissist where they're just like, it's all about them, but they're just like confident, they're cool, they're sometimes successful. They just like totally like take advantage of people to like work their way up the ladder, and like they don't give a fuck. Like the base Giga Chad narcissist versus like the fucking soy covert narcissist. Well, he switches back and forth, but when he tries to be a base one, it's not very convincing. And he's sitting there and he's like, yeah, I don't want to make this about me. I don't want you to... let's not talk about all the bad things that are happening to me. Don't talk about that.
It's just the culture that I have a problem with, but...
I'm such a victim. Also, the thing, too, is he does the Cameron strat, where you, like, act like you had a slam dunk. And I don't know what I'd do if I was falsely accused, okay? It's rare you're gonna get a slam dunk, proof this person lied, which is why burden should be on the accuser. With that being said, right? With that being said, he acted like it was, and he had to lie to get his slam dunk. That was not a slam dunk, by the way. In one of the two allegations, there were two in total, right? There might have been more. I think there were just like two. Where he's like, in her like twit longer or whatever, she says that I was like making fun of her for not paying the rent. But look, she does pay the rent. So how could that be true? And then it like you find previous streams, like he doesn't understand time is linear. He doesn't understand just because she was paying the rent at that given point in time doesn't mean that there was a different point in time where she wasn't paying the rent. And that was made evident by the fact Shamu dug up a clip where he's literally on stream talking about how she doesn't pay rent. So he had to like lie for this like slam. And now he's calling everyone false accusers from debunked allegations. You lied. You lied in like the course of, which is not a good look, bro. Because then it's like, what else are you lying about? It's manipulative as fuck. You'll never answer questions from someone. He just like attempts to confuse you with his lies, and like he relies on the fact that the average dumbass doesn't want to have to go and do research. So when somebody like Shamu hits him up, he thinks he's going to be able, this guy's like used to like talking people into liking him, and he thinks he's going to be able to work Shamu, and then he realizes that Shamu is like a fucking like like a good kind of autist that's like obsessively like a-logged every single detail of this guy's life over the span of months, and he's like citing specific and Tectone just immediately it's like backs off.
If you're just here to know this, no, I'm not coming back yet. No, I'm not going to be back for a while.
Didn't care. Just like be like, yeah, I'm taking a break.
And yes, I do.
Making this whole goodbye for now. Goodbye. Also, he's like recently been, his ego is very fragile. He's recently been getting accused of view botting, if I remember correctly, because Twitch started cracking down on like view bots, and allegedly his viewership like halved.
Do miss you because I love you. No, I miss making content for you guys. I really do. And I will say, expect a couple YouTube uploads, maybe like one a week. I'll just be talking to you guys about whatever comes into my mind, maybe more. But I need to get away for a while. I really did. In case you're wondering why. There are evil people on this earth that are currently making my life fucking miserable. Even more.
Good. I hope I'm contributing. I hope you're a piece of shit. You're like, this guy is like human garbage.
Than you guys know. It is deeply personal shit that I'm having to deal with right now, and a lot of it, and I'm not going to go into this too much, but there's a lot of very dangerous things happening in my life right now.
It's kind of weird when they say they're so fucking true. So true. Like, I'll just tell you outright, like, I fucking despise you. I do this purely for the money, which you should be giving me right now. Yeah, I hate all of you. And if I wasn't doing this and making money off of it in another lifetime, I would meet you on the street and would just like wish like the utter worst for you. Like, I hope every day of your life when you're not giving me money is fucking miserable.
That I'm just trying to take care of and take care of the people around me, the people who I love. And I'll probably talk about that later. But when I do come back, I'll post about it on Twitter. I'll post about it on YouTube. But just thank you guys for staying subscribed, and thank you guys for liking my videos. And I look forward to coming back to content creation for you guys. But once again, it's just not going to be for a while. So now with all that out of the way, hopefully I can feel better. Just getting...
Yo, thanks so much for the 4. How about Nope? Okay, I hate everybody except How About Nope. Thank you so much. How about Nope?
Things off my chest.
I'm saying nope to hating you.
For why I'm kind of going and, kind of extrapolate on the previous things that I've been saying. I'm a guy where I've been doing this for nearly 7 years. 7 years coming up in December. And I always think that I'm okay. I do. I'm not. And I know I'm not okay.
Rapists aren't allowed to cry. Dude, what? This guy is so pathetic. He's such a bitch. Oh my god, dude.
I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't happy. I was crashing out.
What is it? It's gonna be like, we're here with you. We'll be waiting for you when you get back, Techie. Hearts. Like giving it, like they're playing into like this, the worst performance of all time. They're giving him the reaction that he's attempting to elicit. That would be my guess. Sorry this is happening to you. Okay, he's ironically hearting like some of the hate comment. 40-year-old Genshin player quits, okay, I don't know what that is. brother, only 2 words. Take care. The most important person on this channel is you. Don't give a fuck how long it would take, but if you need to be a way to recover or refill or whatever you need to do to feel better, I don't think you want this guy doing what he does to feel better, okay? Because based on some of the things I heard, to feel better, he brings a woman home and, well, I can't really elaborate, but I don't think it would be a danger to our streets if this guy does what he allegedly does to feel better. The just don't forget me. He knows he's gonna be gone for like a few days. This guy needs you. He needs like the affirmation of like the fucking 12-year-olds that watch him. He won't be able to step away for a significant period of time. Aiden caught visibly crying. Then, dude, these titles suck. Somebody needs to give Tommy C like titling advice. My name is not relevant. This is the strat. Okay? I said this to Perry. If the person you are covering is relevant where their name will get views, will get clicks, use it. But if the person that you are covering is not relevant and the average person who gets it recommended to them wouldn't recognize who it is, then you want to make it like a generic title. Like instead of, if Duckbringer was relevant, it would be like, Duckbringer has like a psycho meltdown live on air. But because Duckbringer is not relevant, what you would title the VOD is like, crazy stalker ex-girlfriend, threatens someone with their address live on the, that obviously wouldn't be the type, but you understand the format. Just a bit of advice. So okay, I'll check back in a sec.
What's up, guys? This is now my 3rd time trying to record this video. No, it is deeply personal shit that I'm having to deal with right now, and a lot of it, and I'm not gonna
glad to see Tommy's doing well, man.
go into this too much. There's a lot of very dangerous things happening in my life right now that I'm just trying to take care of and take care.
Oh, by the way, Kel, I know you're in chat. I hope AA is going well for you. We're all sitting here wishing you a good recovery. Okay. The first step is admitting you have a problem.
Care of the people around me, the people who I love, and I'll probably talk about that later. But when I do come back, I'll post about it on Twitter. I'll post about it on YouTube. But just thank you guys for staying subscribed.
Stop calling me Kel. I'm not referring to you personally. I'm referring because I'm not talking about you. Stop calling, dude. Some of the people in this chat are so schizo. I could say somebody else's name, and they still think that I am personally talking to them. What is wrong with you? You are parasocial. You need friends. You need a fucking life.
And thank you guys for liking my videos, and I look forward to coming back to content
creation.
Do
you like watch the TV out of curiosity and think like the TV is talking to you as well?
For you guys, but once again, it's just not going to be for a while. So now with all that out of the way, hopefully I can feel better. Just getting some things off my chest for why I'm kind of going, and kind of extrapolate on the previous things that I've been saying.
Get some things off your chest, like all the fucking dead skin cells and like hair and shit. Glad to hear it.
I'm a guy where I've been doing this for nearly 7 years. 7 years coming up in December, and I always think that I'm okay. I did.
I wonder why Aiden attracts a parasocial. You're saying that like there's some obvious answer. Yo, thank you so much, Starfish, for the 2. Ask and you shall receive. So Starfish, I hate all my fans except How About Nope, and Starfish. Benzin is taken off the hate list with a $2 from this guy, and Bobby B is taken off the hate list with a $5. Dear old dad would be proud. Okay, good one, buddy. I'm tired. It took me a sec to figure out what you were referencing. It's cause he's got that ushy gushy, huh? Ushy gushy. What the fuck does that? What is wrong with you?
I'm not, and I know I'm not okay. I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't happy. I was crashing out over things that didn't even bother me. I was saying things I didn't mean. Like, for example, I told another viewer to kill themselves.
Dude, I didn't mean it. I've just been losing it lately. I told another... Dude, I'm pretty sure I, like, wrote, like, an essay in response to Shelby the other night, like with like convincing reasons as to why Shelby should. Okay, I can't elaborate. I don't want to. The new goal is to not have to worry about going back into a VOD and cutting TOS shit out. So I'm on my best behavior.
And I know that's no big deal, but I really just shouldn't be saying that shit. I shouldn't be saying that shit. It's gonna be a hard one to stop.
It's so performative. He knows it's not a big deal online, and he's expecting the dude, stop beating yourself up. It's not a big deal, man.
Like, I don't like when I let things come out of my mouth that I don't feel like I could have stopped. Yeah, I feel bad for that shit. I really do.
By the way, if you're like self-obsessed and like self-absorbed, I have no problem with that. Just be fucking honest about it. I'm honest about it. Okay? I'm honest about it. I mostly care about myself. Problem?
But the problem in my life is that
Tanner is taken off the hate list. Okay, even though you just gave me $2, you're getting put back on.
I'm a guy who lost a lot of shit because one evil person decided to lie.
You verifiably lied, by the way, about this individual. And wasn't it like 2 people making allegations against you? See, it's one thing, like when people say this person has multiple allegations, but it's like faceless, nameless accounts. It's a bit different when the 2 people that are making allegations against you are 2 people that you've like had a relationship, like a both were long term, if I remember correctly, right? Like when it's 2, not just hookups, when it's 2 people you were in like a long term relationship with, I feel as though that doesn't make them necessarily true, but it adds a bit more like weight or veracity to the allegations, because it's not just like randos online. These people are the ones with the yes, that's what. No, that doesn't mean people like can't conspire behind the scenes to come out with several fake allegations. There's things like that, right? That can happen. Okay, that's why you need to also, when you're forming your own opinion, you need to look at the behavior of the person responding. You need to look at the broader picture, and like to grasp like gauge generally what you think is going on here.
Internet ran with it. And now I'm being told, even more so, that I can't talk about anything. And I need to watch everything that I say.
Isn't he actively like engaged in some kind of litigation or something, if I remember correctly? I'm referring he's talking to like a legal team, maybe? Or I'm assuming. Thank you for the 2 from Benzin. Kathy sent you Keynote inbox, by the way. See, the thing is, though, the other problem, too, is when you're assessing someone's behavior to tell if they, like, look suspicious, there are people like me who just naturally act and look suspicious, okay? I've spoken about this before once. I had a laptop that got mistaken for a bomb. I'm not kidding. Or it wasn't mistaken for a bomb. It came up as a red flag. I got, like, while they were, like, in the process of, like, looking through, I got, like, fucking, and essentially like it was like a mini interrogation, and even though I knew I was in the clear, I was acting incredibly suspicious. I was acting like you would think watching me that I wanted them to believe it really was a bomb.
And I just can't operate underneath those. I can't operate like that. I can't. I'm a guy who tells you guys everything. I'm the guy who likes breaking the distance that a lot of these people in the space who lie to you. I like letting you guys know on what's actually
Maybe I haven't told you. I told Augie after it happened. I even showed Augie. Fuck, I can't, because you're going to be able to find info about it, so I have to be a little careful.
going on. And that's why a lot of people can't stand my ass. And, there's a lot of other reasons, too. I mean, I'm fucking loud, bald, weird looking. I don't want to say ugly.
That's why people don't like you. Yeah. It's because you're bald. It's because you're loud. That's why people don't like you. It's definitely not that you like knowingly brought your like sex criminal father around women, propping him up on stream and on Twitter as some kind of like hero or like moral example to posture over Hassan. And then when possibly also by bringing his face on your channel, making his victims, if like, can you imagine, like, as I said before, if like a victim's son watches Tectone, I'm not saying this is likely to happen, but like they see their fucking, like, the guy that sexually abused them, Tectone's dad, on a stream because Tectone is propping him up. Like, imagine how they'd fucking feel, right? These are the victims. These are the victims. And then Tectone, when this is exposed and getting called out, he then goes, turns into like vulnerable crybaby mode, and then spins it like he's the real victim. He starts like invoking like, my dad held a gun to my head when I was young. It's like weird how this is only coming out now, but like when you're propping him up on your streams and everything, the two of you are like fucking thick as thieves. Yeah, that was a big reason that like convinced me about like what a fucking disingenuous fuck this guy is. And just to be clear, even if your father is like a horrible person, I understand that it's like, I don't know if I could blame people for not breaking contact. There are like serial killers' children that are still in communication with said serial killers. And I'm sure the children are fine people. And even though the children hate the person and hate what they did, you still sometimes have like an innate love for a parent that makes the choice of voluntary separation very hard. So I'm not judging like mere contact. What I'm judging is the fact that he was like using this guy as some like moral example to posture over Hassan, bring him on his streams, bring him around women, etc., etc. $2 from Patrick. Aiden, I'm starting to think you're a vampire now.
Well, I'm working on it, okay? I'm down 100 pounds, right? I'm really trying my best here. But man, like, I haven't showered in like 2-3 days or some shit, bro. I'm fucking going full like grease goblin.
Oh, we can dude, we can tell, actually. I believe that one. I actually believe
right now,
that
man,
one.
gross.
But it's like, at least change. We can't smell, like, if the benefit is, he doesn't have hair. So you can't tell his hair is greasy, right? And you can't tell he stinks through a screen other than the fact that he's kept on this old dirty ass shirt, which you can just like visibly see the dead skin cells on. Like, at least change your shirt. But you said he did this in 3 takes. Like, surely, like, did you like consider that like nobody wants to stare at your like shedding, molting skin? Like, did you consider maybe you should change the shirt before the stream?
I haven't showered in like 2-3 days or some shit, bro. I'm fucking going full like grease goblin right now, man. It's gross. Oh, I got a new tattoo, by the way. It's mango with the
It's a what?
Frostmourne in his mouth on the tombstone, like from Dark Souls 1 with Galatians 4:16. That's my favorite Bible verse on there. This is a reference to Sith from Dark Souls 1. And I also got a nice bonfire for anybody who didn't get it. And also because it looks fucking hype. Getting more tattoos. You're probably getting a collarbone tattoo and getting all this arm.
I think the worst part about people that get tattoos, and maybe this isn't everyone, okay? I've known many great people who have tattoos. They just have like a need to tell you some fucking backstory they don't give a fuck about. Yeah, man, this tattoo was actually a reference. It was like the favorite interest of like my great grandmother's cousin that like I knew about, and then he died, and I was like really sad about it. And then I was in a city that he once like drank too much and raped a woman in, and I decided it was that city I would get a tattoo to honor him in. It's like, cool. I don't care. I don't care about your tattoo. Sorry.
Sleeved up. Getting the American flag pretty soon with a little bit more than the American flag.
I'm sure for like, also, I'm sure it's like the other way around too, for like people who are not like, you know, yappers that have tattoos, like people asking them about their tattoos, probably fucking annoying. I am so glad I didn't go through with getting one, to be honest, because I'd probably regret it right now. Maybe I'll get a tattoo someday, but I wanted to get a dragon on my fucking arm when I turned 18. I'm so glad I didn't do that shit. That would be horrible.
Very excited about that. But yeah, the problem...
I did a makeshift stick and poke on my hand once, and now it's just a scar. Because I use like a fucking thick ass like sewing needle. I did like a prison stick and poke. I like ground up graphite and water, and then I used like some thick ass sewing needle and gave myself like, I tried to give myself a smiley face, and it like looked totally malformed, and you couldn't tell what the fuck it was.
With my life currently is that I don't get any time to feel okay. I don't get any time
Dude, you do the easiest job on earth. What are you talking about? Dude, I had to list my like work experience for some shit today, and I realized like this is gonna sound bad. This has been my only. I've done tons of volunteer work, right? Where I've engaged in like food service, etc., etc. But in regards to, like a proper job, this isn't really even a job. But this has been like one of the only like consistent endeavors worth putting on a resume. I'm like, dude, I've had it so fucking easy. Like, holy shit, holy fuck. Like, this is the easy, like, you can't complain that you have no time. This is the job that enables you to have so much fucking time. It's, like, unreal. Yo, 50 from Grizzly. Get a tattoo of some feet. Oh, sorry. $50 fucking dollars from Grizzly. Holy shit. That is fucking generous, and it's much appreciated. I'll ignore the fact that you're in soy chat for a moment to say, thank you so much. Incredible stuff happening here. Get a tattoo of some feet on your face. I'm probably not going to do that, but still, the donation is very much appreciated. It goes to a great cause, my wallet.
To relax and say, I'm good.
New goal. We're halfway to Streamly goal. You people are the best.
I can chill for the day. And what do I mean by that? My problem is so much of my life has been taken away from me by a lie. That I don't get to go to sleep and think, oh, well, I didn't do it.
Well, it didn't really do a whole lot for you that you then went and lied about what you're claiming is a lie in your, like, defense. I sat down, and I haven't covered Cameron since. I don't know if I think I told you guys this. I sat down, I think it was before I left, maybe a few weeks before I left for a month. And I sat down, and I had, like, a long-ass call with Cameron. And I was just, like, he essentially called me, and then it was essentially like a eventual like plea for me. This is not why I stopped covering him, just to be clear, but that's what it was. He wanted me to stop covering him, and it was like a plea or whatever. And I'm like, dude, because it is a possibility that he's totally like completely fucking innocent. He's still a liar, but he's totally completely innocent. And then it's like, okay, and I've even said this before. Even if the allegations made against him were false, that does not change, like, the vast majority of my criticism against Cameron. That he's, like, he can't take criticism, he's a fucking pathological liar, etc., etc. But, you know, I said to him, even if the allegations were false, you understand, like, lying, verifiably lying to, like, disprove the false allegations lends credence to the notion that you are a liar, and it's going to make nobody trust any fucking response that you have to state in your defense. So even if you're innocent, you're the guy who fucked yourself over the most.
Anything bad today, so I'm all good. You know, back in the day, it was like, oh man, I fucked up. I know they're going to clip that, and that's going to be on this Reddit. That's going to be on that Twitter. That's going to be on that fucking forum.
This is how I feel when Wendy's watching. When Wendy and Chronic are watching, this is exactly how I feel, man. I'm making sure that nothing I'm quoting or saying is going to be able to be clipped out of context. Make sure I said it, because I know Wendy's going to be on that shit. I'm kidding. I love Wendy. I love Wendy.
They're going to fucking rip into me. And that's comforting, because then knowing if I don't do anything fucked up.
I actually like that. I actually really like that, like, everyone is, like, exposing, like, the inconsistencies and, like, fucking moron I make of myself on stream. I really like that.
Fine. The problem is that because I'm now in a position where there's this massive lie told about me, I never get to rest. Ever.
What are your thoughts of... I do not care about... No, sorry. That's not what I should have said. Be trans. I've trans with my audience. You know, I'm very progressive on this stuff. My biggest gripe with transgender people is that they've taken some very hot women and turned them into men. And they've taken some very hot men and turned them into women. And it's like, at some point, I'm going to start taking it personally. At some point, I'm going to start taking it personally.
I wake up every morning in the middle of the night
Like, save some of the hot ones, please.
just wondering, did they lie again? Did someone else lie? What false narrative is the public going to believe about me? And it's annoying as shit. Like, once again, I love YouTube, I love Twitch, but the culture of the internet is fucking terrible.
Dude, you were vent posting about this to me why don't you just go leak everything else, Parry, that I've ever told you in confidence? Why don't you just do that, man? Why don't you just do that? If everything's on the table now, why don't I just say where you live? Why don't I just say your first name? Why don't I just leak your number? Why don't I just leak your family member's YouTube channel? Why don't I everything's fair game now. I'm Purple Parry. Somebody met with me for 3 days and was really nice to me, so let me fucking leak everything. It's all fair game. You know what, Parry? Okay. Wait, we've had this convo, Parry. You have no gauge of what is and isn't a leak. So just don't leak anything. If it was said to you in private, you obtained it in private, just don't leak anything. Because you just like assume certain things aren't leaks that are leaks. You already leaked. That was a fucking joke, you autistic. Oh, sorry, I can't. I'm trying to keep it cool for TOS. The Carl shit was a joke. That is not his fucking name. Haven't you leaked enough, Parry? Haven't you gotten enough content from a brief exchange we had that while it was happening, I quite enjoyed? I thought Parry was very mellow in person at points. I actually liked meeting the guy. But then the aftermath makes it so not worth it. Haven't you taken enough? Haven't you taken enough from me?
Good people have to worry about being considered a horrific person due to things they've never.
I thought if he was like insufferable the entire time I was meeting him, I just wouldn't have seen him for a second day. I thought Parry was fine when we were meeting. I thought he was fine. Okay? I would be totally fine hanging out with somebody like that on a regular basis. But then the aftermath, dude. The aftermath. It's like never ending. It's never ending.
And done. It's crazy.
$2 from Starfish. Don't give yourself popcorn lung. That was nothing. There's nothing left in this. Okay, never mind. Don't tell me what to do, little bitch.
Now, I will say that chapter is coming to a close soon. And I promise you guys, when I get to close this chapter, this year, by the way, I'm going to make some fucking banging ass content. I'm not going to lie. The content is going to be
We won't be watching. We won't be watching.
Fire. React slot for the piggies. Let's go. Hey.
He's so not mad, guys. This guy's so not mad.
That person's video, that's mine now. Yes, sir. React slot. But no, I actually got some cool events planned. I got so many future plans. It's like, I know I'm going to close this fucking chapter of my life and move forward. I'm looking forward to that shit so much. But it's been a fucking pain, bro. It's been a pain. There's so many bad people out there. It's actually wild. And that's something that I guess I can just talk about. Guys, I'm so fucking bitter. I'm just old.
I'm so angry at the world that's fucked me over. Like, yeah, like, I, like, brought my, like, fucking sex criminal dad on stream with, like, absolutely no regard for, like, the safety of the women I was bringing him around, or, like, his victims who could have potentially seen me propping him up, or whatever, but, like, I'm the bitter one. I'm the victim.
Old and fucking bitter. I thought about making a podcast called the Old and Bitter Podcast, bro. I hate these fucking people in this space. I do.
They always pretend, by the way, like they're... Dude, I've told you this before. I know these people inside and out. I know these people inside and out. There's a specific type of person. And I'm sure you've met this type of even if it takes you a minute to think about it. I'm sure you've met this type. Whether it be a girl in your class who always makes everything about her. Whether it be a teacher. Whether it be a coworker, but you've known somebody like this. I know them so well. He spins it so he's like the victim and he's heckin' bitter at everyone and he's the wronged one.
I do. I'm so disgusted with these people that I don't even want to put.
What about you? What about us like being disgusted with you that you brought your sex criminal dad like around women who somewhat, I'm pretty sure one of which later said they were uncomfortable, like comments he was making. What about you who like totally, instead of like giving a proper apology, made yourself out to be the victim due to things you now are alleging your dad has done to you, despite the fact that these things were seemingly not a factor when you were okay bringing him around and propping him up as like some moral, virtuous person to posture on Hassan? What about like people like not liking you, being mad at you? What about the people you've wronged? I'm not even talking about the two people who have both had intimate relationships with you that, by the way, at one point or another didn't like each other, that both came out with like two separate allegations against you. What about like those two people? What about one of them you like lied to debunk their response? You like verifiably lied about it.
Myself in a situation where I might even see him. Guys, I'm sorry. Fraudulent motherfuckers run rampant on this platform. They do. And in this fucking town. It's so...
In this town, and he like thinks he's giving like some like fucking movie like monologue. This town is filled with scum. Just scum everywhere. Proceeds to like grape another woman. Like, dude, what is... I'm sorry, bro. This guy is so pathetic.
Bad. It's so bad. I was watching this video on like what happened to Austin, Texas, and all these fucking pussy ass libs from California came over to Austin, and they just ruined this fucking town, bro. I mean, as a guy who lived in Austin like back since like
Ruin this town. I am begging. I'm calling for it, dude. We need Cal Exit, even if it's just for like a few years. We need Cal Exit. We need the state of California needs to exit the fucking union. You want to know why housing prices are so fucking high here? Because you have all these people coming from wherever the fuck, talk about the migrant problem, talk about the migrants from other state, well, I'm actually one of them, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite, that have invaded the great state of California, which has far surpassed the amount of housing available, driving up housing prices. The states that have significant amounts of homeless people because they haven't devoted the resources to dealing with it, who's homeless, come to California. Okay? California needs to secede from the fucking union, become the fourth biggest economy on earth, like we are, okay? And then they'll realize just how fucking significant this state is, okay? California is not ruining you. You are ruining it. California has to like pay for your like obese diabetic children, Mississippi. California has to pay for your fucking meth addict, fucking meth lab explosion burn victims, Arkansas. All these other states do is they take and they take and they take, and there's no appreciation. There's zero appreciation from these people.
like 2012, 2011, maybe 2013, one of those years.
It's not a bit. It's the bit's over. The bit's over. The bit's, as I like cite like real examples of how like people are like fucking mosquitoes towards this incredible state. Okay, how they make it worse and then blame us. Okay, it's not a bit. Okay, I'm not joking. California is superior to the rest of the United States, and the United States needs to realize that, and they'll miss us when we're gone. Cal exit. Gavin Newsom for fear of California, and then maybe we'll like take Washington and Oregon too, and make like the Republic of Pacifica or something.
It's so different now. It is. It's so different. Like, people will drop you like that because loyalty doesn't exist.
You just bring one sex criminal on your stream several times around women, and they just drop you.
In this space. Oh, you're a slight inconvenience to my
You just lie in your response to a woman accusing you of sexual assault, and they just drop you.
content or my brand, drop you like a fucking dime immediately. It is pathetic. These people are so...
Please, this is what I'm talking about. Please go be 70% less insufferable. Yeah, so like the fat diabetic children in Mississippi can like die. And like all the red states won't have like someone to like leech fucking welfare off of. They'll be, it's so much better. It's so much better. Meanwhile, like fucking meth heads dying in the streets.
fucking weak. It's like, bro, if I was a streamer right now, and I'm gonna make a whole video on this, by the way. I'm gonna make a whole video on the journey of being a viewer to a content creator. Man, if I was a CC right now, I wouldn't want to talk to anybody. Straight up, I would not talk to anybody. These people are so fucking fake. It's unfucking believable. And that's my problem.
Unironically, I'm thinking about this. I think I needed to like do some decor in this like place, in this apartment. I am going to start, you know how he streams in front of a big ass American flag? I'm gonna start streaming in front of a fucking even larger California Republic flag, the bear flag in the background. Okay? And when we leave the Union, we need to like join the EU, okay? We need to join the EU. We need to move our smoking age and drinking age down to 18. Okay, we need to let people smoke outside cafes in the morning with their pastry, okay? Walkable cities, outdoor cafes, California already leads the nation in like online privacy laws, but you know, EU style digital privacy laws. It's coming, man.
Is that I've become so disgusted with other content creators. I've become so disgusted with the culture on Twitter, with this whole town, that I don't even want to partake in this shit.
Good. Bye. Bye. We're not gonna fucking miss you. Goodbye. I just like want to leave. I just like want to head out. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. That sounds like a great idea, Techie. You just want Paris, but in America. It is not just Paris. It is every city I've ever been to in Europe. Every city I've been to in Europe. I've been to many European cities, okay? Many. The fact that you don't understand how liberating it is to wake up in the morning and walk to a cafe with your like overpriced but good quality clothing and sit your ass down at that cafe, okay, and have some like woman that barely speaks English come up and give you an ashtray, and when she brings you your cappuccino and your pastry, you're smoking a fucking cigarette like it's the first cigarette you've ever had as the sun's hitting your face. Sunglasses, good quality sunglasses on your face, okay? It's nice and quiet and peaceful. You just don't understand.
When I get back, and I will be back, not for a while, and I appreciate you guys sticking around with me. The group I'm going to be chilling with, the content that I make, the way that I carry myself is going to be way different. I am a bitter man. And you want to know why I'm so bitter?
No.
Because the more you get informed
really.
in this world, the more you realize how disgusting this world is. I want everybody to know I'm not taking this break so I can be happy.
He's like a sad boy emo now, from like the yeah America, I'm a bodybuilding redneck, to like the sad boy. I'm just like a sad boy. Like, dude, you're not that guy. You're just not that guy. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. You're just not that guy. You're an egotistical, pompous fucking prick.
And absolutely not. I mean, I'm doing this because I want to enjoy my life. I'm very happy when I hang out with my dog, my cats, my...
I'm aware liberals ban this kind of stuff. We need a new liberal party. These people need a new liberal party. And I'm going to give it to them. Okay? I'm going to give it to them.
Beautiful ass girlfriend, which one day I plan on making my wife. Absolutely.
Until she also leaves him and accuses him of doing some like vile shit to her.
Man, I see all these people now who are living in this augmented version of reality, and I feel
I'm just like woken up. I just see these fake... He actually kind of sounds like me right now, except when I say it, it's real. When I say it, it's real. When he's saying that, he's referring to people that have accused him of raping them. When I say it, I'm like referring to the times I like to leave. I sound like a boomer yelling at a cloud, but leave my house without a phone. And I just walk, hoping to engage in some form of conversation with some competent individual, and it's just everybody staring at the people playing shorts on the bus at full fucking volume, scrolling through. That's what I'm talking about. This guy's just talking about people who've accused him of rape.
For them. I feel sorrow for them because I know everything that they're living in can disappear like that. It's so fucking fake. It's insane. The sad realization is there's so little good people.
This is literally like the exact speeches I like used to give when I was in like high school to like random people like willing to listen. I would back to like the looking out into the distance. This is like, it's like identical, man. It's like these people don't realize just how disconnected from the reality they are. Dude, it's like, honest, I used to do this exact same shit, but I just wasn't talking about people accusing me of rape.
This earth. It's surprising.
It's
There's
like,
a lot of okay people.
do you
Okay.
smoke yes, I smoked weed in high school. I smoked like a fucking chimney, bro, and it was disgusting. It was disgusting. Smoke weed in moderation. Don't buy your own. Smoke it socially. Mooch off of other people's weed and buy them a beer in return. Do not buy your own weed. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
People that will make you think that they're great people. But I've said this once, and I'll say this before. Your friends in elementary school are gone in middle school. Your friends in middle school are gone in high school. Your friends in high school are gone in college. Your friends in college are gone once you get a job. Your friends in your job are gone once you leave that job.
That's true, actually. I actually agree with all those things. I think I've said these quotes verbatim, yes. Friendship is temporary. That's why you shouldn't make friends, so you're not disappointed. And that's why the friendless people in our society are actually the ones who are winning.
True friends are so rare. It's insane. And the worst thing is, the biggest mistake
Is he wearing a
I've
dress?
ever made in my life was that I was too loyal.
He's gonna cry. He's gonna cry, dude. The waterworks are beginning.
Guys, you know, if you've watched my content for any amount of time, I have every single person's back who I hold dear.
Is he gonna cry?
No matter what, without even them having to ask me. I don't know how many videos of mine you've had to watch to know this, but you know if you've watched more than 3 videos that if one of my friends comes in heat, I'm there for them no matter what. No matter what. And those same people will not have my back. Well, some of them will.
I didn't even notice the flies, dude. I didn't even notice the flies. This guy is so dirty. By the way, I need to ask something. People have been saying that my camera is not big enough, or my little, face in the corner. Is this the opinion of everyone? Does everyone feel as though my face cam is like too small or something? Just getting some feedback here. No? Okay.
Very rare. Very, very, very rare. Very rare. But you guys know the guys who do have my back. And by the way, to you content creators have been speaking kindly about me. I don't want to mention you specifically by name, but just know I saw the clips. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you for at least having having my back online. It's very rare these days. It is very rare.
I'm just so alone, dude. I'm so alone.
I'm taking a lot of this time off to really get my head straight and really just try to remember, why am I doing this? What's the goal? What do I want to be? Where do I want to go? What do I want to show you?
I think your next goal should be to take a fucking shower. Like, personally, I think that should be your next goal. And, like, try to, like, for your next relationship, try to ask for consent.
Nice. I'm trying to enjoy my life as a human. And I really think I am. I'm actually playing video games. I'm having fun with it.
He's bitching about how bitter he is and how much he hates life. And now he's, like, talking about how much he's just talking, dude. He's just yapping and sympathy baiting. And then, dude.
That's very rare, right? I'm playing Fallout 4. I'm having a fucking blast. I'm almost done with the Brotherhood of Steel. And Preston Garvey says, another settlement needs your help for like the millionth time. And I'm running around with dog meat. I got
Get
the
it,
mod.
guys? Awesome video game reference. Awesome video game reference.
I made him a golden retriever. And, I like to imagine that he's Mango, I'm me. And we run around the towns and we save the settlements and we build up structures. And I'm having a lot of fun. So I'm literally attached by the hip with my girlfriend nonstop and all my kitties and my dog.
Dude, I don't know why that one made me laugh, bro. I'm attached by her hip even if she tells me to get away.
And I hit a lot of new PRs on gym. Fucking sick. I'm owning in the gym right now.
I'm just so awesome, bro. I'm bitter at the world. I'm sad. I'm a victim, but I haven't showered. I'm owning it in the gym right now, man. Things are looking up. I'm just like so successful and like hitting the gym.
Think I can get 315.
This is not, he has like a body shape where like he could look like a gym bro, but he doesn't seem like he just, I don't know if like the people, frame of reference are like steroid users, he just doesn't really seem like that much of a gym bro.
And if I can, I'll make sure to post about that on Twitter. But man, I miss content creation. I really do. I had one of my
You're
friends
doing it right now.
call me, talk to me, and they cry.
There's no real friends. Nobody's your friend. One of my friends, he just said my content was so awesome. He can't figure out if he wants to be a malignant narcissist or a covert one. One of my friends, he just called me, said, "Man, I miss your content so much. Your content was like how I survived, how I existed."
Begging me to take a break. 'Cause
Oh,
they
never mind. Never mind. That's a good friend. W friend. W friend. The friend calls him up, be like, "Yeah, man, take a break for like a month, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe, a couple of years wouldn't hurt."
knew how fucked up I was, because guys, I'll just be dead ass, man. Like, a lot of the people who have to deal with what I'm dealing with right now, a lot of them are deeply traumatized.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They are not. Wait, do we have a 1.7K viewers? Oh, no, we don't. Dude, I was gonna be like...
For forever. A lot of them also kill themselves.
Oh, now he wants you to think he's like at risk of suicide, so you could further like inflate his ego. We want you to stay, Techie. We want you to stay. We want you to stay. I post this like one GIF sometimes where it's like Javert jumping off the bridge into the Les Mis into the river, and the response I get from my chat, I honestly, Tectone should have my chat. The response I get is like, "Yes, finally, let's fucking go." This guy is like he's like, he wants you to think he's like suicidal to like bait the messages of like, "Please, Techie, stay."
I want to end up like that. I don't. I want to be okay. I want to be here, and I'll just listen, But I feel good. I do. Well, as good as I can feel. Like, okay, what's crazy? Maybe I'm losing the words. I'm fucked up. I know I'm fucked.
Good point, Jojo. Like the stream, you fucking freeloading fox. Okay, 36 likes, 138 watching. I'm sorry you're like such a lazy, fat, pathetic fuck that you can't like move your mouse or like use your finger, too much exercise, to like click the like button if you like actually enjoy the streams. And you'll say you don't because you think it's funny, but somehow the people that are gonna say that are the ones that are here every single fucking stream, regardless of what time of day it is, and they are literally just coping.
Up, but I'm okay with that, and I know I'm working through it, so I know I'm going to be okay. Does that make sense? Right? I know that I am deeply fucked up, but I've always been fucked up, so I'm okay with that. And I'll get through this. Like,
his name is not Javier, it's Javert. Javert. And yes, he is Russell Crowe. And despite Russell Crowe getting a lot of critiques for his performance in the film adaptation of Les Mis, I thought that his singing was passable, it was fine to listen to, and his acting was actually quite good. And I think that's all that I was expecting from him. I think that people are overly critical of his performance in that role, but when you watch it in hindsight, it really was not that bad.
I always get through this. But things are a lot worse than you guys know behind the scenes with some of the people that I'm dealing with. More than you guys know, actually. More than you guys know. And, I'm trying to take care of all that, hold it together. It does feel very therapeutic to be able to talk to you guys. Again, I'm actually really looking forward to reading the comments.
I know you. I know that's the whole reason he's making this video. At least he's honest about that, okay?
Because I do miss this a lot. I can't tell you how much this sucks for me, man. I think you guys know this, but I'm a very consistent content creator. I don't really go away too often. This really is like my first real time taking any big amount of time off.
Oh my god, you suck.
I don't know how long it'll be.
Yes,
either a week, a
because
month,
this
2
is
months.
this is somebody it will not be a month. I promise you. I will get on stream and admit I was fucking wrong. Maybe he'll use Twitter or something. Apparently he is. So maybe that might... Because this is somebody whose entire existence, like, to achieve any form of gratification or happiness, he needs the opinions of other people. He needs people to like him. He needs feedback from positive feedback from others to like maintain like a healthy image, or not a health, sorry, his image is not healthy, but to maintain a good image of himself, and to you know, it's just like ultimate euphoria for him. So maybe he'll get those like he'll get that out of posting on Twitter, but I'm not sure. I doubt he will take a month off from content creation, someone like him.
3 months, 4 months, a year.
It will not be a year.
There's no way it's going to be a year.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Jesus, that would be awful if it was a year. But I'll keep you guys.
I don't even think it will be a month, to be honest with you. I don't even think it will be a month. And if it is a month, I'll look at his like Twitter activity to see if it's spiked in that month, because then he's just using a substitution for the positive social feedback that he relies on to feed into his ego.
With all that shit. Yeah. I just wanted to let you guys know. There's probably other things I could talk about in this video, but I'm just trying to make sure that I'm all good. Taking some time off for the first time in a while. Dealing with a lot of things behind the scenes that fucking suck ass. You know. I'll talk more about it later. But just know that I really miss you guys. I do. And I hope I get back to doing this pretty soon. And I would like to let you guys know, for anybody worried about me, don't be. And I promise you guys, I am not going to let any of you guys down. And the story I get to tell you guys when I'm back, or maybe a little bit after I'm back, is going to make a lot of sense when I can say the things that I want to say. And it's a very important story.
It's going to be a whole lot of nothing. It's going to be a whole lot of nothing. He like pretends like he has some like big like redeeming like piece of information up his sleeve. It's non-existent. It's not coming. He'll keep alluding to it. Cameron does the same thing. It's not coming. I'm sorry.
Some of you guys watching this can probably tell how deeply conflicted I am in my own mind right now. And I can tell I'm in a very big...
I know you're conflicted. Because it's like, wait, do I actually have to commit to leaving here for a month if I said I was going to do it? Is like the sympathy I'm going to get from this more worth it than like my chat glazing me live? He's like trying to decide like which form of like farming his viewers is gonna be like better for his ego, and he can't really figure it out. I'm sure he's conflicted.
I'm at a very big pivot point, or a very big like, the moment I am in my life right now is very important to who I'm gonna be for the rest of my life.
You're 31. That moment happened.
And I really have to take the time to make sure that person...
I'm kidding. It is a true, like, listen. What you're doing right now is going to be pivotal the rest of your life. I fucking know. Okay, I know. It was a joke. He's sounding like... That's what I was thinking, Bobby, but I realized nobody's going to get that reference. Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, like, for those of you that don't know, Glue was like a mod in my server that had a crash out because he would do this thing. He was like a mega fan of me, and he loved being my mod. But he would do this thing where he's like, okay, can I like quit now? Okay, can I leave now? Okay, I wasn't forcing him to be there. So he goes, okay, can I quit now? One day, and I'm just like, yeah, absolutely, go ahead. And I don't think he was like expecting that response. He's expecting me to beg him to stay. And he's like, dude, you literally said that like you need me or whatever. And I'm like, no, I said I needed you to correct an issue with the bot. That's finished. You can leave. And he crashed out and like used like his mod powers to like try to grief my server and shit and fuck around with perms because he like didn't get the response he wanted.
Is someone who I'm proud of and someone who I'm going to enjoy being the rest of my life. So I hope you guys understand why I'm not here right now. I look forward to being back when I am back. And to all you guys typing my name in other content creator chats, I've been sent the clips and it's very cute, and I really appreciate you guys, and I do miss you guys quite a lot. And I've said that a lot.
Encouraging brigading? Can I do what they do to Hassan, or it's like this like stupid fucking hall monitor behavior where it's like, wow, encouraging brigading. YouTube would never let that happen if it was anyone else. Clearly Tectone gets special treatment from YouTube.
I do. I don't like taking this time off. It fucking sucks. But it's what's best for me. And so many people have told me that I need to do this. So I'm going to do it, but it feels like...
Yes, dude, I believe now that's honest. Now, please quit. Please, I beg of you to fucking quit.
I'm in fucking timeout in my fucking room right now. Jesus, these fucking birds, holy fuck. Anyways, this is a thousandth time, but
those are flies,
by
the way, not birds, because he probably smells like shit.
Hope to get back to content creation pretty soon. Probably not going to be able to. I'll upload a couple videos every now and then on this channel, kind of in this format. A bit more structured next time I talk. And
We
Yeah.
won't be looking
Hope you guys are
forward
doing
to
all
it.
right.
But so I get. Well, we'll listen to some, but
And there's one thing I can just ask for any of you guys who are still here. Just don't forget about me, okay?
dude, it's like he's like Oscar worthy, okay? Oscar worthy. Honestly, Oscar worthy. This guy, why are we not honoring this guy at Cannes, bro? Why are we not honoring this guy up at Cannes? Just like, don't forget about me, guys. Don't forget about me. We won't forget you. So true. Hearts for Techie in chat. Hearts for Techie. Okay, we won't forget you, Techie. By the way, when I had quit for a year, Toki, there's only I think like 2 OG viewers who are, because what happened is, you know, people say, oh, you were always like, you already like were building, had a built up, whatever. No, I like separately decided to build up a new audience and do live streams like 2 years ago. And I'd been streaming on this channel for a brief period of a couple of months. And then I quit again for a year. And from that like brief period, we weren't breaking 50 or whatever. I think 50 was like a good day. And I like left for a year, and like Toki was like, you left us, I didn't get a single DM. I didn't get a single fucking DM while I was gone, just to be clear. There was not a single person that reached out. Okay, they're like, see ya, bitch. But I think we have to celebrate. I think we do have to celebrate. So, in honor of Tectone's leaving, I must say, okay, Tectone is leaving. Hopefully it is for a month. I must say, to wine. To wine, people. To wine. To wine. It's grape juice, but still, to wine. It's grape juice, you fucking moron. Only people in the Discord server get the to wine reference. So if you're not there and like don't want to be like the loser that's like out of the loop on every single like inside joke, the inside jokes are kind of mid, but like if you don't want to be that loser, you should join the server. You should join the Twitter community. The clippers are slacking, so you should be clipping like fuck. Okay? You should be clipping like fuck. And if you are a clipper of mine, put AG4L in your fucking bio, because people give Queeman all the credit for this. What was Icy Chat described as? Piranhas? Okay? Queeman's getting all the credit. Rep your colors proudly, okay? Rep your colors proudly. You are horrible. Queeman is so cool, man. Fuck you. I've already severed my last connections to the mainstream commentary community. Even though the term new commentary was coined, a very creative original term, of course. Even though that was like coined in my server, inevitably I'm gonna have to sever my ties to new commentary as well. And then what will I become? Snark commentary? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We coined new commentary. They could go somewhere else. All right, what else? What else was there I had to take a look at? We'll go for as long as we can here. So Ellie linked something that kind of looked like it could be interesting. Use my fucking inbox. You guys have plenty of shit to post, and Icy, use my inbox, and I'll... You can never link me too much in my inbox. Even if I don't cover it. Don't be like, oh, he didn't cover this really niche topic I linked, so I should never link him anything again. Link everything you feel like you should link, and if I don't cover it, that's fine. You want to give us more to work with than less. Because I miss things, okay? I miss certain things. Lard Lady? So true. So fucking true. Tommy Tent? Should we watch Tommy Tent? Hold on. Aiden didn't cover the pink sauce. You know, we'll cover the pink sauce controversy. Dude, my eyes fucking hurt. Holy fuck. I can't tell if it's from exhaustion or like allergies, dude. I could not breathe out of my nose last night, and I was like waking up throughout the fucking night and shit. Is your like fucking, is like, dude, when you're like, when you literally can't breathe out of your fucking, it's the most annoying shit in the world, bro.
In 2022, a TikTok chef went viral for selling a mysterious neon condiment called pink sauce. No one knew what it tasted like, but the color was wild, and the internet was obsessed. It was advertised as something you could pour on everything. People were trying to figure out if it was sweet, spicy, or maybe both. The mystery helped it go viral fast, but as soon as it started shipping, buyers noticed problems. The labels were off, ingredients were inconsistent, and some bottles even arrived leaking or spoiled.
Dude, it's just paint. What if they're just like eating paint? Dude, the most annoying thing when like you travel is like everyone asks you about it in your like real life, and someone's like, did you go to this like restaurant I saw on TikTok where they like set the pasta on fire before they give it to you, and like it no I didn't. I avoid places like that. I don't know why this is related to pink sauce, but like food trends, trendy restaurants you see on Instagram reels, avoid those places like the fucking plague, dude. Like the plague. I'm not going to sit down and eat for a fucking performance, okay? It's not dinner and theater, okay? I'm not even sitting down for good service. I wish there was a way there's like a restaurant review platform where they only reviewed based on the taste of the fucking food. I don't care if the waiter is a jackass that like actively wishes death to like me. Sometimes I've waited like an hour for my food, like an excessively long amount of time. If the food is good, that is all I give a fuck about, okay? And don't go to like the little like trendy, like if they have to get you with the performance, it's probably a tourist trap. It probably sucks. Like the Salt Bay shit where he's like, look, he's like sprinkling the salt on a golden steak, and it's like some like generic ass mid to like subpar steak that he's like coated in gold to like up the price by like $100 fucking. Like, wouldn't you just prefer like an actually good steak? None of the performance, none of the trend, none of the like. Just don't you just want like a good steak? Fuck the if you see a restaurant on Instagram or fucking TikTok or whatever, like fucking Zog Chow, you people are watching, avoid it. People do this when they go to New York, and they're like, I just hated New York. It was just like everything was like so crowded, and like the people were so loud, and like the food I ate, everybody talks about the food in New York City, and like the food I ate wasn't even that good. And it's like they found their like recommendation from like a sponsored ad on fucking Instagram where like they cooked the food with a blowtorch at your table in like Times Square. These are the type of people that like leave JFK airport, and there's like a million signs saying, do not accept rides from people offering you rides. And they're like, some guy comes up and says, yeah, I'll take you where you need to go, baby. And they like accept the ride, okay? God, fucking tourist. I am a tourist, but I blend in, okay? I blend in. I was like honestly so humbled when like I would go to like sit down somewhere in Italy or Greece, and they actually tried to talk to me in Greek or Italian at first. I was so honored. They thought I was one of them. Well, Salt Bay. Let's check this out real quick. Okay, I want to watch this. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. We have nothing else to cover. Let's watch this. Then we can do some maybe like Tommy Tent or something. I want to watch this. I'm like very passionate about food. Okay? I'm very passionate about food. If you couldn't tell, I could talk about food all fucking day.
From going viral overnight
I hate the tourist traps. $2 from Benzin. You do not blend in. You literally live in the most depopulated, probably not the most depopulated. You live in like the middle of fucking nowhere. You're 25 and sound like a child. I know, mirror projection. You're 25 and sound like a child. You probably haven't had social interaction with someone other than a parent, like you probably never left the country, and you've never left your state. You know nothing. You know nothing about anything.
to now drifting into irrelevance. From rubbing shoulders with the biggest celebrities every week to now getting kicked out of major sporting events.
And also, you want to cancel celebrities? Cancel them for promoting shit like this. Cancel them. Didn't this guy, when like the World Cup happened, didn't he like put his hand on the trophy and it's like only supposed to be held by like the people who won?
From bragging about $100,000 dinner bills at his luxury steakhouses to watching his empire crumble right before his eyes, Salt Bay's story is a textbook example of how internet.
Yeah, it's like a fad restaurant. You have like people go, oh, the hype, the food's not that good. You don't get returning customers. The best food I have ever had are at places where there's like no hype. There was a place I ate at. I ate at two places. Well, I didn't eat at two places in total in Italy, but I went to a nice place once that had like 1,000 great reviews, and the food was okay, but you know, it didn't disappoint, but there's nothing to write home about. And then I went to some random fucking, it wasn't even a restaurant. It was a bunch of tables. It was in Naples. It was a bunch of tables, and there was a shack. It was like a literal like shack where they were cooking the food at these like tables. There was a memorial for a kid that had been shot there. Okay, you could probably pinpoint the restaurant I was at, but there was like a memorial for some kid that got murdered. It was loud. I think it was in a bad part of Naples. Whatever. Okay, that was some of the best food I've ever fucking had. That was some of the menu was disgusting and dirty. The food took forever to come, but when it got there, it fucking got there, and it was incredible.
Internet fame can vanish just as fast as it arrives, especially when ego takes the spotlight, and everyone sees the attention-hungry narcissist man behind the meme. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be taking a closer look at the downfall of Salt Bay, how he went from humble beginnings to ruling the internet at one point, and then losing it all to arrogance and greed, all while building a business empire that, behind the gold-plated steaks and viral clips, hid a toxic culture of exploiting staff and reckless practices that put lives at risk. Though, before it all came crashing down, Salt Bay's
or like the other thing too, in New York, if you go to like these Caribbean restaurants in like bad neighborhoods where they give you your food in like a fucking like white takeaway box, okay, that shit hits like fuck too. Okay, I like oxtail, rice and peas. That shit is so fucking good at like those places that just like look like they're in the worst fucking neighborhood ever. It is like, dude, it's great. Fucking hits.
rags to riches story was quite the inspiration. Nusret Göçe started his life in a small Turkish village called Pazli.
Don't give a fuck.
A 3,000
all the Greeks in my chat are gonna be like mad and upset. Oh, you're giving attention to a Turk?
$400 bank loan to travel across multiple countries and learn more about their meat industries and the steakhouse businesses. After doing this for 3 years, he returned to Turkey in 2010.
The thing too is the hype was like the way he sprinkled the salt. It like runs down his arm, and like this guy works in a kitchen. Or I don't think he probably is more there for show. There's other people cooking, obviously. But like if he is actually working in a kitchen, you know, you're sweating. You're obviously food safety practices. You wear gloves, wash your hands, whatever. But like when he serves the salt, it like runs down his arm, and it's like elbow salt. He should like salt complemented by like elbow taste. Like who the fuck? How does that make your steak better? It's just fucking salt. Sprinkle it on yourself.
And opened his very own steakhouse. It was a fairly small restaurant with just 8 tables and a handful of staff. Despite this, Nusret Steakhouse managed to catch the attention of high-end clientele, including the Turkish billionaire Ferit Sahenk, who was so impressed by the quality of food and service that he offered to invest and help Nusret branch out not just in Turkey, but across the Middle East. By the end of 2016, Nusret was already a fairly successful businessman. What he didn't know, however, was that his luck was about to change once again. On January 7th, 2017, he posted a video of himself dressed in a tight white t-shirt and dark sunglasses while slicing meat, and sprinkling salt on it in the most unusual ways.
An Ottoman steak.
This went
it's probably just like a normal ass steak.
Viral, racking up millions of views and shooting Nusret into internet stardom practically overnight.
Dude, also like they get you with like I was watching this the other day, how, like, what was it? You know how on the menu they have, like, Chilean sea bass at, like, certain places? It's, like, marketing also applies to the food world, obviously. But, it wasn't called, yeah, it was called a Patagonian toothfish. It's not actually a bass. And they, like, remarketed it as, like, a Chilean sea bass. And now, like, it's, like, fancy and shit. It's, like, some normal, like, disgusting-looking fish.
Night. The moment of him pouring the salt got turned into a meme as well, making him even more popular than just the viral clip, with people now referring to him as the quote Salt Bae. Lamau.
Or there was no regulations on, there might have been some, on, like, Kobe beef, okay? Kobe beef has to be certified, right? There's, like, restaurants are given, I think, certificates to sell it. And at one point, I think as of 2018, there were only, like, 7 restaurants in the US that were authorized to sell it, but you could go to a bunch of nice restaurants and then Kobe everything on the fucking menu. And it wasn't actual, like, Kobe beef. It was maybe, like, something that, another type of cow that was, like, slaughtered in Kobe or whatever, but it wasn't Kobe beef. Like, it's specific type of beef where, like, the cow is, like, treated a specific kind of way and it has, like, it's, like, super fatty, a lot of marbling, okay? I saved up. This was the stupidest thing I ever did with my birthday money. I wanted to try a real Kobe. So I went to this, like, one steakhouse in New York City that was actually certified to sell it. And I got the Kobe steak, and it's literally like this small. It's like the tiniest shit you've ever seen. It was real. It was real. But, like, it's so fatty that, like, it just, like, fills you the fuck up.
Salt Bae is at the other side of the world and has no idea he's an instant classic with Black Twitter. It's gonna be crazy to tell kids, oh yeah, that's Salt Bae, the way my dad told me about Paul Newman. I dressed up as Salt Bae for Halloween. From parody skits on national television
It's happening! Oh!
to professional athletes celebrating
He's sprinkling it with his arm.
with his signature move on the biggest stages. Salt Bae had quickly become one of the most recognizable faces on the internet. This was a powerful position to be in, and Nusret understood
You never want to get big from temporary hype, okay? This, like, goes in, like, any fucking context. Like, you want, like, dude, these people are, like, forgotten about in, like, a year's time. It goes for everything, okay? You're just part of a trend. You're part of a passing trend. Two times speed? Are you really, like, that much of a fuck? It's on 1.5. Are you, like, actually, like, that, like, impatient?
this better than anyone else, because not long after he went viral, Salt Bae announced plans to open luxury restaurants in both New York and London that same month, followed by several more locations worldwide
We don't fucking want you. We don't want you.
over the upcoming months. Now, the menu in these new restaurants was outrageously expensive, including things like a $100 burger, $10 for a can of Red Bull, $25 for a single dessert, and the star of the show, the $1,800 24
Yeah, because it's a fucking trendy tourist trap fucking restaurant. I'm sorry, but if you, like, actually eat at this shit, you're, like, and even if you're a fucking millionaire that's paying for this, it's all surface level. There's nothing refined or cultured about you. You have no personality. You just go with the fucking trends. Okay? You know nothing. Never take restaurant advice from someone that unironically ate at this fucking shithole.
carat gold-coated tomahawk steak. Despite this, Salt Bae's restaurants were a massive hit almost instantly, with people traveling to them from around the world. More than the food itself, people were buying into an exclusive, over-the-top experience just for the chance to see the man himself in person.
Fucking experience, bro. Fucking experience. I just want some good food. Dude, I went to some restaurant, they're, like, making, like, the ice cream and, like, dry ice and shit. I don't want all this shit. I just want my fucking ice cream. I just want to eat my fucking ice cream. I don't need a show.
Yes, sir.
Week after week, his restaurant attracted the biggest names in sports, music, films, and beyond. Salt Bae had successfully turned a viral internet moment into a multi-million-dollar global brand. But behind all of the gold steaks and celebrity selfies, the reality was far from glamorous. Because as it turned out, when it came to the actual food, Salt Bae's empire was style over substance. His London steakhouse, for example, was ranked among the bottom 33% of restaurants in the city on TripAdvisor, scoring a measly 2.9 stars with over 350 reviews, out of which 167 labeled it as outright terrible, with reviews like, bad food at crazy prices, all seen and zero substance. The biggest
You suck. You're a gullible idiot. You're a gullible idiot. And you suck.
scam ever. Food was undercooked and tasted awful, as well as terrible service, way too expensive for being treated like third-class citizens. To make matters even worse, his burger joint in New York was branded as the worst restaurant in the city, with professional critics describing the food using phrases like a little rubbery and low on flavor, mundane, somewhat tough and rather bland, shoe leather tough, and
I ate at the obvious tourist trap restaurant, and I didn't like the food. I didn't like it. It was, like, the most obvious fucking tourist trap ever. Dude, sometimes I actually like to go to, like, 1-star review restaurants like just to like read some reviews can be like the funniest shit. And sometimes you have owners that cannot take criticism and like respond on Google reviews. Fuck.
Public ripoff number 1. You'd think that after seeing such terrible reception, Nusret would focus on eliminating those issues. However, the Salt Bae did not care one bit. He viewed himself as some sort of icon, saying
Flavorless, dry fucking burgers.
things like, now everybody wants to be a butcher because of me. Now if you ask a kid, they want to be Salt Bae. They see me as an idol. I'm an inspiration to a
Then the kids are fucked. We're teaching kids. Then we're teaching kids that everything is like just like totally surface level, bro. There's no appreciation for food. It's an appreciation for the image. Okay, you want a cute thing you can post on fucking Instagram. You want to post a picture of your plate on Instagram to all your like stupid fucking friends that are talking shit about you behind your back and be like, "Oh my god, guys, got to such a beautiful night with Bae," and the food tasted like shit, and you're like pretending like it didn't.
lot of people in a very short period.
Projection. Do you want to know when the last time I made a post to my personal Instagram was? Do you want to know the last time that happened? It was like a year ago, okay? It was like 1 year ago. Because I realized all these people suck. Who am I posting this for? And then Snapchat, I think like over the last 2 months, I've sent I don't do the snap shit, by the way. It like weirds me the fuck out when like somebody like sends you a photo of their face and it's like streaks and it's like I'm not sending you a photo of my fucking face back. I'm not in high school anymore. What are we doing here, man? Just fucking talk to me like a human being. I've sent maybe like 20 messages in the span of months.
Period of time. It was clear that his instant online fame had inflated his ego beyond bounds. The quality of food, the customer experience, it all took a backseat. What mattered most was the performance. He even started bragging openly on social media, sharing receipts of
That's
customers.
just the thing with the young generation, by the way. The boomers are like this on Facebook. They have like 1,000 friends, half of which are probably bots, okay? And they're like, they post everything to Facebook, every moment with their fucking family, every moment with, you know, when I was like getting started with this shit, you know, and I was trying to like lock down on my OPSEC, I actually had to like see like whose Facebook I had been posted to. And it's like, holy fuck. Do you really need to take every single moment with like a family member and just like put it on Facebook? Like are you like that hungry for validation from like your old fucking high school friends, a bunch of fucking random nobodies, your like coworkers, friends? Like, holy shit, bro.
Spending over $100,000 on a single meal, using them like trophies to show off his status. And it wasn't long before the brand stopped being about food entirely and became all about him. He filled his feed with shirtless videos,
Gay.
struck poses
Gay.
like a runway model, and carried himself like an A-list celebrity.
Gay.
But while the cameras were still
Short.
rolling and the likes kept coming,
And
behind
gay.
the scenes, everything was starting to go downhill.
In another see, this guy right here, in another time, he would be putting up a valiant fight for his losing empire against the British in Libya, in Arabia. He'd have the fez on. He would be like the Ottoman Empire's strongest soldier had he just been born in the right generation. And instead, he's here, being a fucking bodyguard for Salt Bae.
But while the cameras were still rolling and the likes kept coming, behind the scenes, everything was starting to go downhill. The first domino fell in September 2018, when a fire stunt meant to impress diners went horribly wrong.
Deserved.
Flames shot out of control, injuring 4 people, including Czech internet personality Tina Streknikova. She suffered third-degree burns over 35% of her body and was hospitalized for months. And while she managed to survive, her appearance was altered permanently. The incident made international headlines, yet the Salt Bae made no...
That's not funny. The third-degree burns are serious. The third degree... I was laughing at something from earlier. Third-degree burns are a serious matter. And I wish her a speedy recovery. Nobody deserves to get burned for, like, falling for an obvious fucking tourist trap that doesn't give a fuck about, like, you having a good food experience or, like, any, like, basic safety or anything else, okay? Nobody deserves to get burned for making that conscious decision to go to this place.
No public statements or apologies, pretending like the incident never even happened. But his silence was just the tip of the iceberg, because while his customers were fighting for their lives, he was busy feeding a dictator. That same month, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife visited Salt Bae's restaurant in Istanbul, where they
Dude, and he fed the worst fucking dictator. Dude, can we just like talk about like, it's like, you know, somebody did a video, like a good thing to say about like every dictator or whatever. And it's like, yeah, some of the dictators like kind of look cool. They have drip. Okay, they might have murdered thousands of people, whatever, right? Venezuelan dictators suck. Like actually like fucking suck. Like it is like actually like hilarious to me when like leftists try to like you can do this for Cuba to some extent. Cuba has a lot of things they've done that are admirable, okay? Subsidizing the medical education of their populace did great wonders for the nation's lifespan and health, etc., etc. But okay, Venezuela, there is nothing redeeming about the leadership of that place, bro. Like they suck. They don't even have cool drip, first of all. They don't even like if you're going to be a dictator, at least have like cool drip. They don't even have that. Okay? They like destroyed the people like, "Oh, the sanction." You could say that for Cuba maybe. But like fucking Hugo Chavez was doing like massive fucking like deficit spending. He fucking tanked like they literally they nationalized oil. They had like they could have become like I think at one point Venezuela might have been the wealthiest country in Latin America. And then all this like fucking he does all this deficit spending to like keep the favor of like the fucking working class. And like he does it at such an unsustainable way that like there's like inflation. He destroys the fucking country's economy. Dude, fuck the people that are running Venezuela, bro. You suck.
They were treated to a lavish multi-$1,000 meal. And to add insult to injury, this all happened while Venezuela was in the midst of a devastating food crisis, with over 64% of the country's population losing an average of 11 kilograms or over 25 pounds due to food
Literally the richest nation in Latin America at one point.
shortages and widespread hunger. Any person with even a shred of empathy might have declined to host a man overseeing that suffering. But not only did Salt Bay welcome him with open arms, he posted multiple videos online bragging about it. As you might imagine,
I don't think we need to get involved in Venezuela. I think doing so would be for like purely selfish reasons that may just like end up like it's like the Saddam Hussein thing. Like I can agree that Saddam like we don't need to. Obviously, the war in Iraq was a complete and utter failure, and like based on lies to the American public that contributed to the deaths of hundreds of thousands to a million, right? And obviously, it's a horrible thing. But let's not pretend for a moment like Saddam Hussein like didn't like we don't need to glaze Saddam to hate George Bush, okay? Saddam sucked as well. Fuck that guy. But what we learned is removing him actually created like way worse circumstances than having him in power.
the backlash was immediate and intense. And
So it's like, yeah, I can hate Maduro, but like, okay, what happens when we remove him?
it wasn't confined to behind the screen. Protests broke out in front of his restaurants in Miami and New York. The issue even resonated with the US Senate, with Senator Marco Rubio stating, "I don't know who this weirdo Salt Bay is, but the guy he is so proud of to host is not the president of Venezuela. He is actually the overweight dictator of a nation where 30% of people only eat once a day, and infants are suffering from malnutrition." He eventually deleted the videos, but true to form, he never offered an apology, because for Salt Bay, the performance always mattered more than the people. But Salt Bay's disregard didn't stop at bad reviews, burning guests, or feeding dictators. Things were even uglier behind the kitchen door. It all came to light in April of 2023, when Business Insider published an investigation report, uncovering a string of lawsuits and disturbing allegations that revealed an empire built on fear, exploitation, and control.
You can take power. I honestly, there's a lot of nations. If you gave me power of them tomorrow, I would take it gladly. Okay. Venezuela is not one of them. That is like something that needs a solution from, I mean, the greatest minds on planet Earth. It is like actually like atrocious how badly the leadership in that country fucked their people. Like it is a complete and utter mess. These people are like psychos, dude. Actual psychos. You had everything going for you, Venezuela. Everything, dude. Everything. Venezuela could have been a nation of wealth and prosperity and greatness. And they could have still even been socialist with all those things. But like when you have dictators, they're like taking control of things they know nothing about, like a fucking economy. And you fucking destroyed it.
Former staff described Salt Bay as a petty tyrant obsessed with image, power, and excess, with a former manager stating, "His world was nothing but Instagram and fame. The sensation was him. He ended up getting this godlike complex. Employees were fired without warning, sometimes for accidentally breaking a glass or simply wearing the wrong shirt. A bartender in London said working there felt like being in the Hunger Games. Another even compared Salt Bay to being a straight-up dictator. And that wasn't even the worst of it. Workers were forced to stage fake lines outside during slow hours and even sleep overnight in the restaurant during the COVID-19 pandemic and social unrest, all without getting paid overtime. And while he flaunted his wealth online, employees say he stole tips and punished mistakes by slashing workers' pay. In multiple lawsuits, employees allege that management skimmed off 3% of tips or withheld an entire...
I believe it. He seems like a money-hungry egomaniac. I believe it. I believe it. So true, Toki. We need to form the Bolivarian Empire, okay? It's time we just like start. Gran Colombia returns. So true. Toki's only like what, 1/4 Colombian. I have like some Iberian DNA, so I could LARP as Hispanic. I actually think I have a better claim to being Hispanic than like half the people in Argentina, personally. I'm sure the crippling sanctions have nothing to... Of course they do. Obviously they do. But that is way better suited for fucking Cuba, okay? That excuse is way better suited for Cuba. Without the sanctions, Venezuela would still be a fucking shithole right now because Hugo Chavez destroyed the country's fucking economy. Okay? So sanctions or no sanctions, it would still be a total fucking dump over there. Millions of its people would still be fleeing.
Entirely, especially when high-profile celebrities were dining. A class action suit even stated that the management systematically fired each waiter who complained about not getting paid tips. One 19-year-old food runner had $140 deducted from her pay for delivering a bag of leftover steak to the wrong table. Another...
Why don't you know this? Okay, the situation in Venezuela is like actually very relevant to U.S. foreign relations. It's been in the news recently. Trump struck some like fucking drug boat allegedly. Yeah, allegedly it was a drug boat. I say that because his administration doesn't have a reputation of working with like the best evidence, of course. But like, yeah, you should know the basics of Venezuela.
Other had $800 in tips slashed because a customer left without paying, as if she was supposed to hunt down the dine and dashes and collect the bill. But for the women working under Salt Bay, the exploitation went a level deeper, into humiliation, harassment, and outright abuse. A bartender, for instance, was told to wear a quote, short skirt, high heels, and revealing top on her first day. When she protested, she was harassed by male co-workers. One even followed her home, and just days after requesting to wear a standard uniform, she was fired. Another lawsuit claims that a female server was denied a promotion because Salt Bay allegedly didn't find her physically appealing enough. And if all this wasn't bad enough...
Okay, alright. I think that's enough. Damn, I know nothing about politics. I know absolutely nothing. I just know about history, and, like, I know about the history of countries, but I know nothing about politics. I know the branches of government, okay? I know how, but, like, other than that, I know about, like, how to fuck an economy, okay? I've seen plenty of examples like that. I'm trying to improve my knowledge of economics. Do you have an interest to learn more about politics? I mean, kind of. I'll say, yeah, I'm gonna go read about politics, and then I just like never do it because I don't do anything I want to do. But who knows, man? Who knows? Most of my political knowledge has just come from history, like because I'm interested in history, not really the political side of things. So most of what I know about politics has come from history. Would you join a think tank? No. I like learning more about other countries, but I don't know. Do it on stream? Fill the shoes of death. Dude, I don't want to fill those shoes, man. No, right now, my project is the Roman Empire, because despite, like, autistically hyperfixating on, like, some irrelevant country's history, I never found Rome appealing. I know, like, the basic history of it all, but, like, other than that, I just, like, didn't give a fuck. So I have to learn more about Rome. Alright. Anyways. See, my Roman Empire was Yugoslavia. That was my Roman Empire. I long for the return of Yugoslavia. It's never coming back, but... So what else do we got here? Did I miss any donos? No, I did not. Alright, well anyways, thank you guys so much for the support. We are, like 26 away from Streamly goal, but even though we made it this far at like a stream that's late as fuck at night is incredible, you guys are awesome. Well, no, I have to do the I hate you thing, so I fucking hate you. Unless you give me money. Um, $5 for your back to school supplies, Mr. 4.0. Well, no. So Tommy kept doing the Mr. 4.0, so I adopted the name. That's what they call me. They call me Mr. 4.0. I love that name. So Tommy's like, well, it's now Mr. Shifty 4.0. Okay. Okay. Mr. Shifty 4.0. Okay. Problem? Thank you, Jojo. Do you know about the history of Transnistria? Isn't it like it's like a breakaway? It's like a region of Romania that like there's like Russian influence. That is Russia actively occupying it? I don't know. I know it's like. Do I have that? No. I'm retarded. Am I? Is it near Romania? Oh, fuck, dude. I'm wrong. I have it confused with somewhere. Okay, it is near Romania. Formerly part of the Soviet Union. No, I didn't. Moldova. Okay, Moldova is basically fucking Romania. They speak Romanian. Moldova is basically Romania. It's fucking same flag. I know they don't want to unite. We're our own country. We're not Romanian. You're Romanians. Cope. But yeah, then you have this breakaway state that's in the Russian sphere of influence. $5 from Puddlesucker. 4.0 GPA, by the way. Thank you so much, buddy. $2 from Spencer. Thanks for streaming at Australian friendly time. Anytime, man. Anytime. The Australians uplift my life. Ban Spencer. Well, I know it was demanded by the Cabal, but the Cabal has cut me off, so no. He's back in. He's back in the house. Aiden, have you Al-Andalus or Andalusia? A little bit, right? I know like a bit about it and like the Reconquista. I've been up to Asturias, which was like I think it was like a Christian stronghold where the Reconquista was directed from. I'm shaking my vape because it tastes like a fucking burnt. It tastes burnt to a fucking crisp. Yeah, that sucks. Bro, why are you wasting your... Because nobody wants to watch me talk about history. Nobody wants to watch that shit. And this one tastes like fucking cologne, dude. Where are my geek bars at? Where are my geek bars at, bro? Alright.
I fell in love with my psychiatrist, and he knew, and he kept me until
Let's watch some of this, I guess.
I had the strength to leave after 4 years. Here it is, part 1. So I decided to go back on ADHD meds after many years of being off of them. I was on them in my early 20s to help me get through college, and then I went off of them because they just weren't, like, the side effects were too much over the benefits. But then in my...
Listen, most people who quit ADHD meds, they're just stopping right before it hits. Okay? If you quit ADHD meds, you're weak. Sorry.
My late 20s, I read this book, Taking Charge of Adult ADHD, and it absolutely changed my life. For my fellow ADHDers, there's so many good things in here. And the biggest thing that I took away was that it's very important for ADHDers to be on meds. So I decided to make an appointment with a psychiatrist. I
don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, I think it can improve your quality of life to some extent, but, you know, I have 2 parents that both have it, right? And they're very functional, despite both not being medicated. So it's like, I mean, I think that, like, I don't think you, like, need meds for it or whatever. But to people who cope and say, oh, it's just literally meth. You're just taking meth. The meds don't help. Well, that's because you, like, tried Adderall at a party once and you don't have ADHD. So you felt like drugged up and shit. I get it, okay?
Googled psychiatry in the city that I lived in, and I went with the first one that came up.
Okay, Green, we understand you watch Marcus, okay? Hopefully you're not 15 as well and in his Discord server. That's cool. Nobody else knows who the fuck that is, so I'm gonna cover it. Sorry.
And I got an appointment within a month. And then I booked a 90-minute intake, and I show up to the intake, and this man is my age, and I can't help but notice that he's pretty attractive, this psychiatrist. And he kept me anyway, part 2. So in this intake, you know, I kind of clocked that.
Yeah, shit, like, this is, like, the reason I also didn't want to, like, pursue, like, a career in psychiatry, because, like, first of all, psychiatry is just, you're gonna make more I feel like I could make more of a meaningful difference in psychiatry. It was more interesting, and, you know, make more money than just being a shitty little fucking psychologist. But it's years of schooling, and then you have to, like, just, like, deal with people like this. And it seems like a total fucking nightmare. 20 from Spencer. Your dark money kickback for subverting the cabal of Hasbara bros and their gaggle of useful idiot simps. If you ever come to Australia, I will show you the most incredible hidden tide pool ecosystems full of life. I can only imagine. My mom went to that place and she was like sending me like it wasn't in the wild. She was at some like reserve and they like let her pet a wombat and she like saw some penguins and shit. And I was like so fucking jealous. I was like having like a little autistic fucking meltdown. I was like, oh, I couldn't fucking go? You didn't invite me? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Yeah, yes, penguins. Yes. Yes, there are penguins in Australia. Yes. There are penguins in, I'm pretty sure they're penguins in South America, right? And there are penguins in Africa.
He was attractive in my age, but when I tell you that I had a lot of couch time in my life, a lot of therapy, you know, I just went right into it. I trusted him enough, of course, why wouldn't I, to tell him about my childhood trauma, my daddy issues, if you will, what I had went through, all of the relationship trauma that I had. I was 6 months sober at this time, but like all of the drinking and substance use I used to do.
If you have trauma, honestly, the best thing to do is to drink. I think drinking does wonders for trauma. I think alcohol therapy is a demonized form of treatment that actually is effective, and we need to be. This is another reason I don't like the field of psychology, because they'll promote, oh, do this ketamine, man, it will change your life. Do psilocybin mushrooms. When the solution, I mean, it's like a cure in a bottle. The solution is right there for you. To wine. How many countries have you traveled to? I've done British overseas territory because I went to Turks and Caicos. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Slovakia, Czechia, Austria, Germany, Vatican City, Italy, Spain, France, Malta, Greece. So like 12? 12? And we're not counting the 2 countries that I stepped in, but wasn't really there for, like, I was in England for 1 night within the airport to do a connection, and I was in Iceland for about 2 hours.
And he just listened and nodded, and that's the thing about psychiatrists, is that they're good at pretending to listen. They can appear connected, but that doesn't mean that they're always connected.
I'm saving up because I think this winter I want to do, for my winter break, I think I want to go to Argentina.
So I just felt really seen, and I also told him, I was like, look, I don't want to be on stimulant meds. So he listened to me, and he put me on the non-stimulant ADHD med at the lowest dose just to figure out if it was gonna work for me. Part 3. So I hadn't ever seen
$2 from Benson to wine. Thank you so much.
a psychiatrist before. When I was on meds in my early 20s, I only got meds from...
Look, we're getting closer to our old viewership. We got 150 concurrent... Sub and turn on notifications if for whatever reason you're new here. We're getting close. We're rebounding from the vacation a little bit.
My primary care physician. So I didn't understand how psychiatry works. So because he was figuring out my med dose, I saw him every month, and he just made me feel like I was his friend. He was really, really funny and cracked jokes, and told me he was impressed with my running that I would do, and yeah. So of course
I think, like, it's a double-edged sword, because I think, like, I guess if it's a psychiatrist, it's different, no? Like, psychiatrists are, like, it's not like a therapist, right? They're there to, like, help you with the more, like, they're there to help you with, like, diagnoses, prescribe medication, etc., etc. But if you're looking for, like, a friend to, like, talk all your issues through, you would want to go see a, therapist, right? I could have that off. But, like, it's a double-edged sword, because I think, like, therapists that you click with and really like can actually, like, maybe give you a little bit of help if you, like, enjoy talking to them. But the other thing, too, is if you get, like, a parasocial, like, obsessive patient, that can be very unhealthy.
The attention that I got from
Are you from Brazil as well? Dude, I have at least 3 Brazilians in my audience. It's crazy.
him. And it was in my third session.
5 from Spencer. There are penguins in Melbourne, not even joking. Basically, in the inner city, there's a hidden population of fairy. Yeah, that's the one my mom sent me. Fairy penguins, Torstona, and they had like an emperor penguin that washed up in Australia somehow a few months ago.
With him, because at this point we were all on Zoom, that I asked him, I said, hey, do you mind if I call you by your first name? And he's
Oh,
Pakistani,
no.
so I said his first name wrong, and he said, well, it's pronounced this, but yes, of course you can. And he seemed so smug and happy with himself. And I know that that is because that was his first sign that him pretending like we're friends was working. And to be fair to me, I had only ever been to therapy before. I didn't realize that, it's important to call your doctor last name. I mean, I did know that, I did it with all my other doctors, but it just showed that the boundaries were blurring, and he liked that. So from then
I had a therapist when I was 6, and I guess I called him by his first name. And, he was like, cool, but it wasn't like I was choosing to go to therapy. I was 6 years old or whatever. He was cool or whatever. And then over time, I watched my therapist deteriorate. And the last I heard, apparently, the individual allegedly tried to take his own life. So I'm wishing him the best. Wishing you the best, buddy.
on from my third session on, I started calling him his first name. And then he just started turning up the volume on us being friendly. And he would ask me, for the first 6 sessions, he asked me, after the meds, he said, how's your bowels, bladder, and appetite? And I would say they're all normal. And then he would ask me any thoughts of harm. And apparently that's pretty common for psychiatry to ask those questions. And then on our 6th session, when things were really, the chemistry was starting to be there before, like, I didn't realize it. I was like, oh, this
Well, I went and saw him to catch up, and this is actually a year ago. I went to, because I needed some like perspective on my early life or whatever, and he was kind of like a neutral observer. So I went to go see him to catch up when I was back in New York. And apparently he's not even like, he doesn't even do therapy anymore. So I didn't know that when I went and saw him. So I didn't have to pay or anything. I just like kind of sat with the guy in the office, and I don't know, man. I got the vibe that he like has some stuff he needs to work. A nice guy too.
it's just friendly. And he said, I have to ask this because it's a special interest of mine, but is there any thoughts of harm? Like, I was special to him. And I said, no thoughts of harm. And he didn't ever ask me a clinical question again. He stopped asking me about my bladder, bowels, and appetite, and he stopped asking me about thoughts of harm. So to me, I would just show up and he was like a therapy appointment every month. So I was seeing him every month and just gaining more and more respect for him because he would just tell me these little things about his
New goal. Based as fuck. Why were you in therapy at 6? Oh, it's not like anything like cool. Like I was just like, I would like kill small animals and stuff and like light fires. Yeah, thank you guys so much for helping us hit goals. Super generous.
successes and all of the cool things that he was doing in his life. And it made me fall for him, honestly. And he was really good at listening. And I mean, he's Pisces, right? So of course he's gonna be there. And be
A Pisces. Oh my god. Not the biggest red flag. This gives me the ick. If you like actually believe in astrology. This gives me the ick.
to go deep in my feelings, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't extracting from them. Anyway, so I would beg him to let me see him every week. Beg him, because my therapist at the time, he was fine. He wasn't a predator, but he was fine. He just wasn't doing very much for me. And so that therapist retired, and I got a new therapist. And this new therapist, who was a 75-year-old woman with a PhD, she was pretty helpful. So I stopped asking my psychiatrist, begging, honestly, to be my therapist and let me see him more, right? Which also should have been a red flag. But then I started focusing on
Yes. Yeah, to the psychiatrist. Yeah. Well, no, because the psychiatrist could see it as, oh, this person just really needs some support, and they see me as a supportive figure. Maybe not like seeing like overt red flags in this patient and their like development of like a complete parasocial relationship.
therapist. However, I would tell the therapist how obsessed I was with my psychiatrist, and she didn't do anything about it. She just was interested. She also loved stories about my dating life, and yeah,
Well, therapists aren't. Honestly, I think therapists need to be more judgmental. Like, therapists do need to argue with you. I think that like, that's why I don't really like therapy, right? That's why I don't do it, because like I don't need someone to sit there and like tell, oh, your feelings are so valid. The way you feel is so valid. I need someone to sit there and be like, this is not what strong men do. Okay? You're being a fucking pussy. Okay? What you need to do is that like active like criticism and feedback. Like if there was a therapist offering that, like an aggressive, I would pay for that in a heartbeat.
she also was getting supply from me in her own way, but
Yeah, I need attack therapy. That's a real form of therapy. I need attack therapy, man.
for another part. So yeah, so I got a new therapist who actually helped me. She taught me CBT, EFT, all of these different modalities. And so I went back to just being okay with seeing Irfan once a month while he was giving me these little breadcrumbs of making me feel special, telling me about his professional achievements, telling me about how he's getting international recognition. And it worked. I was really impressed. See me weekly. And that is when the intermittent reinforcement started. Some sessions he'd be warm and kind and wonderful and let me in on little parts of his life and like be vulnerable with me or pretend. Other sessions he would be cold and clinical and detached. And you know what that did? It made me work harder in our next session.
Oh my God, it's not what he's consciously trying to do. Therapists will sometimes bring in their personal life if they feel like it's helpful. He's not even a therapist, he's a psychiatrist, but to like demonstrate that they can empathize or relate to some extent, that will let you in on, like, you know, to support you, to let you know, hey, maybe I've been there, or I know a little bit about this, etc., etc. But they're, you know, pretty selective about like letting you completely in so that this very scenario does not occur. I do not think he was doing that on purpose. It's probably a case of he's doing things to think he's supporting her and her mental health, and he thinks she purely views him as like a supportive figure that she can go to for help, and he's just not picking up on the fact that this person is like developing a completely parasocial attachment to him.
It did, and it started
it is not cognitive behavioral therapy that I'm describing. Attack therapy is its own thing. It was actually started by a cult, but you could look into that in your own time.
Addiction that I had to him, 100%, and he knew exactly what he was doing. This man gives lectures on trauma. And
cognitive behavioral therapy does kind of what you're describing, right? Cognitive restructuring, cognitive diffusion. I know what you're talking about, of course. But attack therapy, it's just like, you should look into that.
Attachment theory. He used his psychiatric training to manipulate me and get me hooked, and guess what?
Oh my God, dude, she's like viewing it like this person is like actually schizo. This is a therapist, this is a psychiatrist being a psychiatrist, a therapist being a therapist. Where he was wrong was in his inability to assess your intentions, what you were getting out of this. Okay? That's where this guy fucked up. But like the stuff she's describing he was doing, you know, people have done that with me. People like, but it's like, that doesn't mean like they're doing it to like relate, to empathize, right? And she's like perceiving it as, oh, this is a sign he wants me to try harder.
It worked.
Apparently due to ADHD, but there's way more than like ADHD going on here, bro.
January of 2024, I was hit by a car turning left as I was going through a green light. And it was the night before my next appointment with my psychiatrist. So I was like, okay, I'll still be able to go to my appointment on Zoom. I'm okay. But I did make an appointment with an urgent care the next day just to get checked out. I had bruising on my abdomen and a perforated eardrum. And the provider at the urgent care said, I do not feel comfortable treating you. You need to seek emergency care.
I think I got one of those and didn't get treated for it. Dude, Perry was describing this side tangent. Okay, and everyone's like, oh, you were mad about fire. They were not fireworks. There was some festival occurring in Malta where they were shooting like actual fucking mortars into the air every 2 minutes. It like, other tourists were covering their ears. You would like feel yourself shake. Okay, things would vibrate when it went on. It was like anti-aircraft artillery. Okay, and it was every 2 fucking minutes. And I'm like, is like the strategy here just to not make people want to visit? And my ears were fucking ringing. Okay, like I actually felt like I was losing my hearing over time, and I was like, honestly, actually kind of like shaking a little bit, anticipating every 2 minutes. Like I was getting anxiety, anticipating like every 2 minutes there was about to be like this loud fucking boom that went off. It was loud as shit. Like I even got like a warning on my AirPods, like you're like being exposed, or on my phone about like sound exposure or something. But you know, it finally stops, and I'm like recovering, and Perry was like, yeah, there's this cool place in Malta where you could like watch them fire the cannons into the ocean. I'm like, okay, I'm not 5, not for me, whatever. I go to the war rooms, the Allied Command Center for North Africa and the Mediterranean in World War II. They have the preserved war rooms in Valletta. I go there, and as I'm coming out of the, you know, it's this little narrow tunnel alleyway. As I'm coming out of the alleyway, you're going up the stairs, so there's this little terrace on top. And I guess I wasn't looking. I was the only one on those stairs, because right above me, a cannon stuck out and fired. Like an actual cannon. Right above my fucking head. And when I tell you, I like went partially deaf for like a few... I swear, like, I didn't realize the place he was talking about was right above me. Like it was an actual fucking cannon. My ears were ringing and shit. Like, I would not be surprised if I got some hearing damage from that shit, bro.
now. You may be internally bleeding. But it was 11 o'clock in the morning, and my appointment with my psychiatrist was at 2. So I decided that I was going to wait so I could see my psychiatrist and not have to reschedule, because I was looking forward to my appointment with him so much. I look back at that time and I'm just like, oh my God, I put my own life under seeing him. I was fully addicted to him at this point. And you know what happened is that I showed up and I told him that I may be internally bleeding, and he didn't stop the appointment. He didn't say, you need to take care of yourself.
Well, that's because he probably thinks you're being like histrionic and like exaggerating. He's probably assessing like, or what is it, you're like malingering or like baiting some kind of response for attention. He probably didn't believe you. Okay. Wait, they are shells. Hold on. No, wait, no, it's not this. Hold on. I'm looking for the specific firework they used. They're not even called fireworks. Parry's friend told me they're called something else. Hold on. I'm looking for this shit. They're not fireworks. Yes! So these were actual shells. Hold on. These were actual, like, shell. And it was every 2 minutes. No, it wasn't exactly this. It wasn't exactly, because you couldn't see it flying up. You would just see the smoke, and then it would go into the air, but you wouldn't see, like, a streak behind it. And it would just be this loud, like, boom. No, this is not what I'm talking about, man. It was like, no, they're not shells. It was something else, bro. It was something else. Yes! This is it. This is it. Found it. Exactly. This is not doing it justice for how... Okay, the baby starts... This is not doing it justice for how fucking loud it was. This is not doing... But it was like this. It was exactly this. And it was... I've been around fireworks. I mean, 4th of July celebrations. This was not a fucking firework. This was not a firework, okay? Like, I thought we were I thought the island was, like, being invaded or some shit. Not that, it wasn't that. It was, like, those shells you saw at the beginning, or whatever the fuck they are. It was so fucking loud. What did this guy say? Okay, this is a bot. Oh, and it would go until 2 in the morning, by the way. I'm not kidding. I guess they just don't have any, like, noise regulations.
Go get emergency care now.
You know, I don't like to sound like a, you know, like a fucking tattletale, or like a Karen. But that shit was going until 2 in the morning.
Let me continue and just tell him about how much I loved him and how grateful I was for him, because that was really what most of our appointments were, is me just like pouring myself out because he was so good at the intermittent reinforcement. Yeah, I got some warmth from him that appointment. So that was January 2023, and I also told my therapist about this. She said nothing. See him? That's when he really started turning up the intimacy in our appointments. However, he was really smart and knew the professional lines like the back of his hand. So he would comment on my appearance, but not compliment my appearance. So I would come on screen and he would say, oh, you curled your hair. Or I would come on screen and he would say, oh, you're wearing glasses. And of course I felt seen and excited that he was noticing these things about me. I didn't realize at this time that he had feelings for me too. I thought I was holding...
That's not... Okay, another thing too is appearance is actually a very, like, good indicator. Not a very good indicator, like, but appearance is something that is relevant to mental health. If a patient is all of a sudden making, like, sudden, depending on what her, like, diagnoses are, if a patient is, like, suddenly making drastic changes to her appearance, etc., even though this could be totally normal, it also, within the greater context of their treatment, could be indicative of something, whether that be mania, whether that, you know, doesn't matter. If they come on and they look like they haven't showered in days, their hair is disheveled, it could be indicative of depression. Or he could just be making comments on these things because he wants her to elaborate why she's doing it, to potentially see if, oh, maybe there's a specific reason this is happening now.
I'm all by myself. So I was so excited when he noticed my glasses that I ran and showed him my other pair, and he said, I prefer turtle shell glasses. So even though I usually wear contacts, I'm wearing these turtle shell glasses in these videos because just in case he sees them ever, he'll see me in his favorite glasses. He did tell me he likes the turtle shell.
Oh, she is actually nuts, dude. This guy dodged a bullet. Holy fuck.
Anyway, it was just inappropriate things like that. Little teeny things that he let me in.
That's like just him like being like fucking either trying to get you to elaborate or just like trying to like a small little comment to be relatable.
And all this time, my best friend is an emergency medicine physician.
If I'm to even believe that happened, of course they're dude. Anytime Okay, they're a physician, not a nurse. Listen, I love nurses. Nurses do great work for people, okay? Great work. But I'm not gonna lie, when I hear that somebody is like a nurse or going to nursing school or something, I just like know that they're gonna be a fucking nutcase, dude. I don't know what it is. It's never failed me. Okay, I don't know what it is about nurses, but like I just know they're gonna be like fucking insane.
And she told me, she said, Kendra, one of these days, your psychiatrist, she would use his name, is going to say, I can't be your doctor anymore. I want to be with you. I want to be with you so bad. I can't be your doctor. I'll see you in 2 years. So my best friend who's a doctor, she picks up on stuff like that. So even she knew that our relationship was
Because you're probably describing this to her secondhand based on your warped version of what you interpreted was happening.
crossing boundaries and getting weird. But that became my dream, was for my psychiatrist, I almost use his name, to do that. And I told him about Brianna, saying that my best friend, who's
I guess it's like, it's an occupation. There are a lot of great nurses that genuinely care, and they could just like become a little strange from having to see death and like deal with what they have to deal with, which is understandable. But it's also an occupation that puts you in like control of someone else's life, and that can also kind of attract, like, it's the same thing with bad cops. Like positions where you have some form of power can like just like attract like complete and utter nut jobs.
emergency medical doc. I told him that she would tell me that, and he just would be silent. He didn't disagree, but he didn't agree. You know, and that was weaponized neutrality was his favorite game to play. Right? He didn't disagree with Brianna telling me that my psychiatrist had feelings for me, but he also didn't say that's inappropriate. Let's change the subject. It was also around this time that I asked my psychiatrist if he had diagnosed me with anything other than ADHD when I had my initial diagnosis. And he said, yeah, I did. I said, oh, what did you diagnose me with? And he said, well, you had a lot of traumatic things happen to you in childhood because of your dad, and so I diagnosed you with other trauma and stressor-related disorder. And that was the first little ping that I got. Like, that was weird. Why would he keep that from me? I asked him, like, why wouldn't he tell me that? That seems important.
I don't, because the diagnosis is really like mostly going to be important to like, I mean, I guess they could tell you, but I just think it's like rare they're going to tell, oh, I've officially diagnosed you with, he's probably giving you feedback on like the symptoms of said diagnoses. But the thing is, a lot of people like to go home and do Googling themselves about like the shit that, and that's fair. You should have the right to do that. But actually, like sometimes just like, it's not really a necessary and maybe even sometimes a harmful thing to outright state, even though they have a right to know when they ask. But no, they don't tell, oh, I've officially diagnosed you in the DSM fucking 5 with, you know, blah, blah. No, they'll tell you, they'll just like, you know, discuss your symptoms, what you're feeling. So you don't need to start like doing a self-fulfilling prophecy and like looking into like on WebMD what this diagnosis entails and then like fitting the role, fitting the, you're doing that subconsciously. Just dealing with the issues that are relevant to your life as opposed to this like label.
He didn't tell me because he was using that information to manipulate me. He knew I had trauma and stressor disorder, and instead of helping me heal from it and telling me about it, he used it against me.
There are literally tons of reasons. You have not described how he's used that against you, but also there are 1,000 good reasons why they will only, that many will only disclose it if you ask. Because labels are just, diagnoses are just categorization of symptoms. Okay, and a lot of disorders you only need to present with 5 of the symptoms to get the diagnoses, and others just might not be relevant to you at all. And the same disorder can present differently amongst 10 different people. And it's like the categorization isn't really going to be as important as like, and can, as I said, be sometimes harmful. The categorization is not going to be as important as like addressing the symptoms that you are experiencing.
2023, at this point, I was full-blown obsessed with my psychiatrist, and my therapist wasn't helping me, my psychiatrist wasn't helping me, he was feeding it. And then I got a boyfriend, and at first my psychiatrist wasn't really that keen, but then my psychiatrist realized that my boyfriend was a lot like my psychiatrist. And then I started talking to my psychiatrist about my sex life, about tracking my cycle, using the fertility awareness method. And my psychiatrist loved it. He didn't ever say, this isn't appropriate to your care, let's pivot. Oh, he just let me talk and talk and talk about my sex life. And I didn't get too deep.
Well, I don't think they're gonna, if it's like relevant, like I don't think there's any like inherent need to stop that. Psychiatrists are there to have it seems like he's like doing a more therapist role, right? But I don't know if she's like mislabeling it, or I guess some psychiatrists can fulfill that role, but it's like they don't like it is their job, quite literally their job, to listen to the uncomfortable details of your life. And if what you're saying is like, if he feels as though it's relevant or like you need to be supportive about, et cetera, I don't think he's going to actively say, you're making me uncomfortable, stop. Because then that's just going to like shut you down from like being open and honest, which is, you know, a core component of having like successful treatment in psychiatry. It's gonna like make you on guard and stop you from being open and honest with them.
But about a year and a half in, and I would send my psychiatrist these emails just about how much I liked him and how I was so
It's
grateful.
not about what he feels. It's not about if he feels uncomfortable. Oh, I guess it is to when it like goes to a certain extent. But if you're just like talking about shit that might make him uncomfortable, it's his like he's not gonna shut that down. That's gonna do way more harm than good. But she's like taking like every like normal behavior that would be exhibited by a psychiatrist or therapist in this given circumstance and interpreting it as like proof of attraction to her. It is like delusional. What is it? Erotomania? I think it's the correct term. That's not like a diagnosis. It's just like a described symptom or whatever. But a relatively uncommon paranoid condition that is erotomania, also known as Clarenbaugh's syndrome, is a relatively uncommon paranoid condition that is characterized by an individual's delusions of another person being infatuated with them.
For him and put in a bunch of heart emojis. And this is really when he should have transferred my care, but you know, he waited. He liked so grateful for him. About a year and a half in, and I would send my psychiatrist these emails just about how much I liked him and how I was so grateful for him. And
But does she not realize that is not like that you wouldn't necessarily interpret, like psychiatrists are dealing with people a lot of the times who are going through awful shit, and those like comments would absolutely like make sense if make sense towards like a supportive figure that is aiding you in making your life less shit. To a psychiatrist, that could just be an indicator that the treatment is really helping.
put in a bunch of heart emojis. And this is really when he should have transferred my care, but you know, he waited. He liked what I gave him too much. And so even though my boyfriend
transference
did not meet my needs, my psychiatrist and my therapist both were like, you have to stay with him. There's nothing wrong with him not meeting your needs. I'm like, okay. And my psychiatrist was like,
I doubt they said that outright.
He's perfect. Don't get wrong with him. What was perfect about him was he wasn't meeting my needs. So I was still coming to my psychiatrist looking for emotional validation, which he would drip.
If you sound as delusional as you sound now, like she like literally probably is like describing like the perfect like most Giga Chad boyfriend ever, and like interpreting like certain behaviors of his in like the worst light possible
to me slowly. So my therapist, who I didn't know at this time had bad boundaries, but she did, I went to her because my boyfriend and I, after like more than a year together, we started having issues in the bedroom. And so I went to my therapist and she asked me, what does your psychiatrist think about this? And I said, I don't know. I haven't talked to my psychiatrist about this stuff because I have a crush on my psychiatrist and I don't want to tell him this intimate stuff. And she said, well, you should tell him because I want a male's perspective. So at my next appointment with my psychiatrist, I told him, I said, today we're going to talk about my intimate life. And he said, oh. I said, yes. My psychologist, my therapist, asked what your opinion on it was. And I told her that I don't talk to you about this intimate stuff because I have a crush on you. And he looked down and smiled so big in that moment. He smiled so big. And I loved it.
That literally, I'm just imagining the most awkward looking, like, this is something I do. And I hate, there are still like retards to this day that will see someone in like a awful situation and be like, why are they smiling? That's weird. They still don't understand, like, smiling in response to like awkwardness or stress is like a super fucking common response. Okay? If he smile, he totally gonna smile because it's a very fucking awkward, uncomfortable position to find yourself in.
So gross thinking about it. And then I proceeded to give him 30 minutes of non-stop content about my intimate life with my boyfriend. And I actually recorded the whole thing because I was so excited about it. But now it makes me sick. I can't even listen to the recording. I've tried to start, but it's gross. Any ethical psychiatrist would have stopped me and said, Kendra, let's talk about your meds. Let's talk about your care. At this point, my meds were stable. And I was still seeing him every month. Yeah, that was a rough time. And it was pretty much...
Once again, if the conversation is not like falling outside of like certain boundaries or being like necessarily unhealthy, and a conversation like that does not necessarily have to be viewed unhealthy by a healthcare provider, they're not going to shut it down completely because once again, that's going to put you on guard. They need you to be as open as possible because it's directly tied to the efficacy of treatment.
His Christmas morning, the almost 2.5 years of grooming me to get me to talk about sexual things with him worked.
Grooming, dude.
He got 30 minutes of nonstop content to use. Things. One, people are asking me what my mental health diagnosis is. I do not have BPD. I do not have psychosis. I have
doubt? Cap? X to doubt?
ADHD. And I was experiencing extreme limerence with my psychiatrist. Limerence is a normal thing to have.
This is not ADHD. This is the other thing I hate about ADHD. People use ADHD as like this like catch-all. That ADHD moment when you like chop your boyfriend's dick off in the middle of the night. Like what you're describing, sir, is not ADHD. Like, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
happen to anyone who is experiencing hot and cold behavior from someone. And it happens more often in people with ADHD because we have dopamine dysregulation and rejection-sensitive dysphoria. And guess what? My psychiatrist knew that and
No,
used
oh my God.
it to his advantage. 2, I accidentally
Yes,
said
there is dopamine dysregulation. That's a what like a core component of ADHD. Isn't like a lot of ADHD meds like induce the production of dopamine, right? Which like is tied to your reward system and motivation.
my psychiatrist's first name in one of my videos. If you clocked it, good for you. I do not owe him anonymity. However, this is not about doxing my
She is like in some kind of delusional episode. She just like looks and sounds completely insane.
psychiatrist. This is about me sharing my story so other people can view predatory behavior in people in power. Okay?
You're not even she's not even describing anything that he's doing. She's just saying I was saying and doing all this stuff towards him and he didn't stop me.
Anyone doxes my psychiatrist.
She's like yet to like discuss a single thing that he did that would like indicate like clear intent on his part or any intent for that matter. Oh, he smiled. My bad, guys. My bad. He smiled. So clearly he like wanted to, bear children with her. If like I reacted like she did every time somebody smiled at me, I would be like, there would be allegation there. There would be TLD like twitlongers on me for like fucking sexual harassment. Okay, people like there are 1,000 reasons someone might smile at you. In that context, that totally he's looking away and smiling. That just sounds like a response of awkwardness.
With his last name or city.
Chud already covered this. Nobody watches. That guy's like doing what, 600 now? I'm sorry. I don't know what Chud's covering. I haven't watched him in a great while.
He works in or clinic that he works in, your comment will be immediately deleted and you will be blocked. This is about protecting other victims, not doxing my psychiatrist. If you do some investigative work and you want to DM me about it, I'm open to that, okay? 3, I need to take a moment. Moment taken. It is so incredibly disturbing to me, the amount of people that are predator protectors in my comments, that are victim blaming me.
Oh my, this is staged. This has to be fucking staged. This has to be fucking staged. This is like, I feel like, how we have like, there's like red flag laws where like, if certain conditions are met, your like guns can be temporarily confiscated. We need like a social media equivalent of that, where like, if you're like if it could reasonably be assessed that you're in like some temporary state of like psychosis, your social media should be shut down for like 24 hours, with like, and then you could like petition for reinstatement or something like.
Especially the mental health practitioners in my comments.
I can see that. That's not like a super strong claim, or opinion. Like I'm sure that could be misused.
Using therapy speak to say that this situation that I was in was my fault or that I was delusional. Check yourself. You're giving me more ammunition to share my story because
she's not schizophrenic. She's absolutely not schizophrenic. Schizophrenia is something. She's delusional, but she's not schizophrenic. As far as I know, she's not schizophrenic. She doesn't seem like this is like totally a different ball game. There's a difference between like being delusional and being like psychotic or like outright hallucinating. There's something deeper happening here, but it is not schizophrenia.
Just goes to show how absolutely messed up the mental health industry is and how protected people who do this kind of sick psychological manipulation are. So I will continue with my story. Welcome back to another installment of I Was in Love with My Psychiatrist and He Kept Me Anyway, Part 8. You all did some nasty work last night, and I had to turn off comments. People started posting my
Does she have a Kiwi Farms thread yet?
psychiatrist's first and last name, his picture in the comments. That was a jump.
It's honestly kind of sad. Like somebody linked me like, Aiden, check out this lol cow. I got a great lol cow for you. And I pull it up, and it is literally a guy that is actually schizophrenic, very clearly having some kind of schizophrenic episode. He's accusing like neighbors of like poisoning him and shit. It's like, this isn't a lol cow. This is an unmedicated schizophrenic that needs help. Okay? There's nothing funny happening here. This guy is like an actual schizophrenic. I feel bad for him. But it's like, dude, the mentally ill people, even if it's like a temporary uncontrolled mental illness, or the temporary uncontrolled manifestation of mental illness and like access to social media is a horrible combination. No, but the term lolcow is misused. No, a guy who is an unmedicated schizophrenic having like a delusional paranoid episode where he thinks people are fucking poisoning and watching him. That is not a lolcow. That is somebody that needs fucking treatment.
So yeah, a few bad actors who wanted to be super sleuths got the privilege of commenting, mostly hate, let's be real, taken away for everyone. So at this point in the story, there are two main players. My psychiatrist, who's my age, who crossed major ethical boundaries, and my therapist, who is a 75-year-old woman with a PhD. Neither of these people, at this point in the story, I knew were crossing boundaries. I thought that everything was hunky-dory and I was just in love with my psychiatrist and it was totally normal. Little did I know
So the therapist is also problematic. Got it.
was manufacturing everything so I could fall in love with him. Because it was on him to set the professional boundary and not let attention build. So days after...
Good night, Kalora Vetla. Can you change your fucking name?
My psychiatrist's Christmas morning appointment from a few videos.
Why'd I say goodnight? I just have saying goodnight to people personally in chat. Okay, that's like gonna actually cause problems down the line.
Back where he got a crush confession from me, and then 30 minutes of non-stop intimate content that he did not stop me. My boyfriend and I broke up days later. So then I started dating this other guy, and this other guy, this new guy, was a therapist. And I was like, oh great, someone who will be able to emotionally.
Like if I start saying goodnight to individual chatters, I'm gonna like end up with someone like this.
Needs. Yeah, I'm gonna need another therapist again. So this therapist and I, we went for coffee. It was nice. Our second date was a hike. And on this hike, this therapist starts telling me about how he has a crush on one of his clients. And I thought to myself, okay, this is strange, but go ahead. Like, we're on a date, dude. Why are you telling me about a crush on one of your clients? But go off, King. So then he was saying, yeah, she's so attractive, and I think she likes me too. I go and visit her at work, and
Okay, if this story is true, then yeah, I think the therapist at that point does have if the therapist is admitting to some form of attraction, then yes, there is like, I think there's like an ethical obligation to cease treatment or to cease working with this individual. I have developed a parasocial relationship with you. Now say goodnight to me. Dude, there's going to be like my tire. I don't even drive, but somehow there are going to be tires belonging to me slashed tomorrow morning. I know the story's not about him. Your harem is good. Actually, you know what? I'm going to encourage parasociality. I want a cult.
her coworkers say, oh, so-and-so talks about you all the time. And I was like, okay, where does she work? And he said, well, I shouldn't tell you that because I really shouldn't be visiting her anyway. I was like, okay, no problem. So then he continues and he said, yeah, she wears these red lacy panties and short skirts. And I know she wears them for me. And like alarm bells are going off in my head. Mind you, I have no idea.
Really? Alarm bells are going off in her head. It's all, he like literally, it's like the roles reverse. He sounds exactly, maybe she's like, what would be the word? She is creating like, it's like Bo Black's and his like allegedly non-binary sister. She's like projecting, like she's invented this like fake character to like, just to, I mean, this is, you're describing like what you're doing. The difference is, obviously, that guy, if he was real, would be in the worse because he's in, like, the position of power, and it is his ethical obligation to distance himself.
My psychiatrist had similar feelings towards me at this point, but I just thought, wow, this man is...
Aiden, do I have permission to eat? Depends on what you're gonna eat.
Borderline predatory. And he said, yeah, and, you know, she just is so attractive that I have to smash her mate before every session because I just have to get that energy out of me. Okay, and yeah, he just felt compelled to tell me, and I did not understand why. Now I do. So he told me about how he's a predator, right? Another predator in the mental health industry. Shocker. So then, at my next appointment with my
okay, I think this part is just like totally fake.
Psychiatrist, keep in mind, it had been 6 weeks of nonstop fun for this man. He got to use my crush confession and 30 minutes of content, for whatever he wanted to use it for.
She has not explained how he's used it yet. This just sounds like a complete assumption based off her delusional belief that this guy is attracted to her, which is evidently delusional. By the behaviors she's described that have led to her like absurd reaches and interpretations, in addition to the fact that you could clearly see she's like incredibly unwell, based on the way she talks.
Right? And if my psychiatrist was good at anything...
One night from Patrick Starr, her eyes get, yeah, you could just like the eyes. It's the eyes.
It was being professional and acting professional and technically not crossing any lines. And he thought that he was so good at it, because he was good at it. But that doesn't mean he wasn't doing it. And so I told him, I said, yeah, whatever.
Queen coffee cup.
He had known about this other guy, my psychiatrist, I mentioned him. And I told him that this new guy and I went on a date and we went on a hike. And I literally had no idea at this point, I'll say it again, that my psychiatrist was predatory towards me. I almost said his first name again, I'm going to do my best to not. So I went to my psychiatrist and I told him this story about this.
She kind of looks like a bug.
Man that I went on a date with, who's a therapist, is...
She got like, I don't know what it is. She like reminds me of an insect, a little like an insect that became a human being.
Relieving himself before appointments and talking about his client's panties and doing all of these other extremely inappropriate things like visiting her at work. And this man, my psychiatrist, looked like he had seen a ghost and like he was gonna vomit because he prided himself on being an extremely professional and buttoned up person. But here I was holding a mirror to him with exactly what he was doing, but a bumbling idiot telling me like...
It's what she's doing. the guy's like interpreting like everything is like I think my patient's into me. I think she's literally just inventing a character to like, as like a way of like externalizing her like own behavior. And she's like describing her own, like, that's what you were doing.
How he was doing it without the fancy degree, without any of that.
And if your diagnosis truly is just ADHD, right? Why didn't you distance yourself? Obviously, if it was true that, which I don't believe for a second, if it was true that he was really into her, then yeah, actually the obligation is kind of his to distance himself. But like, has she like come with an excuse why she also like did nothing?
I look back on that now, and it's just crazy. And so it just tainted all the fantasy material that I'd given him in the session before. Hi, I need to say something really important. And that's that it seems as though many people view what I'm going through as a crush out, what I'm doing as a mental health spiral. And of course it seems like that. I get it. It's an extremely dark thing to talk about.
She has like relative, that is not why people think you just like sound completely delusional. You could like get, it's not just that it's dark. You could get onto, it's not even that dark. You could get on to your like TikTok and like talk about like the time you got like raped by an antelope, and it like, nobody would necessarily think you're insane. It is the fact that in the course of describing this dark scenario, you clearly are seeing things or interpreting things that do not exist to feed into this narrative, this delusion, what seems like a delusion, that somebody is into you that is not.
This that I went through. And I am sharing my story.
$2 from Starfish. Literally every freeze frame ever looks unhinged. True.
Because it wasn't out there. No one else has shared a story like this. But I know that it happens a lot because people are in my DMs telling me that the same thing that I went through, they went through too. I am now in TikTok jail. I got a violation on the video where I talked about really the biggest damning evidence against my psychiatrist. And so because of that, I have to be really careful. So I'm going to do my very best to not be reactive.
She should have been like, there should be like a temporary like suspension fucking protocol for people that are like outright deluded, so they don't like humiliate themselves.
And to share my story from a place of generosity, because the people in my DMs telling me that they've been through this too, it's keeping me going. It's not my mental health spiral. And I can understand that for some people in the mental health space, because they have been some of the loudest people to speak out against what I'm doing, it's hard to grasp that someone could have this level of predation.
The thing I love about the internet is that you have people that are delusional. There's like a community for everyone online, and you'll have people like actively reinforce their, like there's a whole community online of like targeted individuals who like all believe like the government is using like electronic devices to like scramble their brain or something, and they have their own communities where they communicate and talk about like the signs and shit. That's also great that like people's like delusions are just like completely reaffirmed online
in such a high place of power. So just in case my video doesn't get put back up, when everything changed was when my 75-year-old therapist, I went to her with intimate details, and she suggested I go to my psychiatrist with them. And I felt so excited and nervous to share that with him because I had such a big crush on him at the time. And I recorded all 33 minutes. So this is why, you know, if my psychiatrist wants to come with me.
Why don't you post? Well, I guess depending on what state she lives in, it could be a breaking the law or whatever. But like, if it was the case that he was into you, right? I guess maybe in those 33 minutes, there were no examples, but I mean, if you're going to reference this scenario and you actually have a recording of it, why not share it?
To me and like sue me for defamation. I have a 33-minute recording of me admitting I have a crush on him.
Release it.
And speaking about extremely intimate details. It was in that moment that he really, really should have transferred my care.
Why did, excuse me, he's there to, honestly, actually, I can grant that he probably should have done that at this point if what she's describing actually happened and she wasn't being subtle about it and actively admitting she had this like obsession with him. I think that would have been the wise thing to do, right? Do I think that indicates that he liked her back? Absolutely not. In fact, everything I've heard indicates like the polar opposite. He believed that he was somebody that could like help. But in this like case, it was actually harmful to continue working with this patient. I don't really know if I trust her narrative events, though, obviously. So I would like to hear this recording. She said crush, not upset. Okay, got it. And yeah, also, like, she keeps, like, talking about, like, she's sending messages that look like somebody who's, like, really thanking somebody for helping them. And this person is somebody who's trying to fulfill the role of somebody helping you through a crisis in your life. So, like, that could be, like, interpreted as just, like, gratitude and, like, oh, this, like, you know, this patient is really benefiting from the treatment. And then when that happens and then you admit, oh, you know, like I have a crush, if it's like a quick little thing and then a laugh, that could just be like indicates like a joke or like a light comment. I want to see this recording. Apparently, she for 33 minutes was saying those.
But that moment changed everything for him too, because that's when things really started getting deep between us. And this is where the story is going to go. From now, it's going to be a good story. And I'm going to try to tell it all today, just in case one of my videos does get banned so people can hear it. But just know, if you're concerned for my mental health, thank you. I am very good. More than good, actually.
I'm sure you think that. I'm sure you think that.
And I am actually a coach for ADHDers. It says it in my bio. And I help people work through self-limiting beliefs.
It is not ADHD. You got some way more important shit than ADHD right now.
Help people work through numbing with alcohol and cannabis, because these are the things that so many of us do to avoid our truths. And this is my truth and what I went through. So this is when the chemistry really started going off the charts with me and my psychiatrist. And I held it alone for months, like after that Christmas morning appointment of his. And then after I innocently told him about my date with the therapist, he really started letting in more and showing more parts of himself and, turning up the intimacy. And that was exciting to me, and it made me fall for him more. And I noticed that he was working in an office, and I asked him, this was like July, I asked him, I said, hey, are you working from home? Because I was under the assumption that he was only doing telehealth, okay? And he said, no, I come into the office. I was like, oh, why do you do that if you see all your patients telehealth? He's like, oh, I like it that way. And even though I could kind of tell he was lying, I just gaslit myself. I was like, okay, it's fine. And then I start emailing him my fun little emails, but he stops writing me back. He does not write back to my emails anymore. Because once again, he was really good at plausible deniability. But what he did do is he would take my emails and mention them in session. So he would still...
Dude, this plausible... I've heard this plausible deniability cope a lot. It's like... You need to bring in some extra contextual evidence to demonstrate that the plausible deniability is plausible deniability and not just like genuinely they have like reasonable deniability in this case. That's not like being made up. Like this is actually the case. You need to bring in some extra context to demonstrate that they're utilizing this for the sake of it being plausible deniability. Because then you could just accuse anyone of doing anything, and any like excuse or thing that they can provide to refute that narrative could just be like, you could just accuse it of being, oh, it's plausible deniability.
Give me the attention that I was craving, but only under his structure, under his control, where there was no paper trail. And I love that too.
Have we gotten word, by the way, from the psychiatrist? Has he come out yet?
So I would show up to these sessions with my notes app, and just throughout the month, as I was thinking about him, I'd write down things that I wanted to talk to him about, and I would just come and bring him lots of content. And then every week I would go to my therapist and tell her about how much I loved my psychiatrist, and she didn't help me at all. She just kind of like enjoyed hearing about it, honestly. So October 2024 rolls around, and we're just vibing on Zoom, and then I realized that I didn't have my next appointment with him, so I called his office staff, and I talked to the office manager, who was awesome, we really got along, we vibed, and the office manager asked me, do you see him, the psychiatrist, in person or on Zoom? And I felt so angry in that moment. I was like, he sees people in person? And she said, yeah, he has been for years. I was like, I want to see him in person. And I understand, like, some people may think that this is part of my crash out or part of me harassing him, which is what I've gotten lots of accusations of. But I just would like to remind everyone that, of course, it seems that way. But I was just responding to a dynamic which my psychiatrist fostered. There was chemistry between us because
it just like completely sounds like you fostering it. Even your own complaints about him were not that he was fostering it, but rather he failed to stop you. This seems like completely on you, obviously. So, I don't know. You need God.
Allowed it. And so then the next time I saw him in Zoom, I told him, I was like, hey, your office manager outed you and told me that you see people in person. Why didn't you tell me that when I asked? And he said, oh, I just didn't think you'd want to come in. And that was such a weak lie from him, from someone who was so scripted and controlled. He didn't even have a plausible thing to say. Of course he knew I wanted to come in. I had a crush on him. I told him that often.
You're probably making him uncomfortable, which actually lends credence to the notion that smile he gave you was an awkward smile.
In my next therapy appointment, after finding out that he was lying to me about seeing patients in person, I told her that. I told my 75-year-old PhD therapist that my psychiatrist lied to me about seeing people in person. And she looked at me and she said, well, it's probably because he knows that there will be a lot of sexual tension in the room if you go in person. So make sure that you understand that when you go.
Yeah, this guy's trying to help you and you're trying to fuck him. Like, if he thinks he can help you, it's not necessarily a bad thing if he continues to treat him, but he's not going to, like, further contribute to this, like, I think he should have transferred care at this point if this, like, recollection of events is true. But it's not like he is, like, hold on, let me...
You better believe I showed up to the next session and said you lied to me because you were afraid of the tension that would be there between us. He just didn't say anything. 2024, I make my first...
Why is her therapist encouraging that? I don't know if her therapist is encouraging it. I don't even know if I trust, like, what she's, like, recalling these people said to her.
Appointment with my psychiatrist in November. My 75-year-old female therapist tells me that it's because he kept me on Zoom because he was so attracted to me. He didn't want to risk being in person with me, which further fed my crush. Or so you like to say.
Okay, there's if a therapist, I don't know if this therapist is a real person. I think she's like, she might just like totally be making this up to make people trust like her delusional recollection of events. I don't think that's true.
My delusion. So then my therapist starts texting me in between our weekly meetings, asking me for advice on her other clients. And I was a new coach. I'd only been coaching for about a year, and I had just left my full-time job to be a coach.
I highly doubt that. That seems like a fucking major HIPAA violation, right?
full time, and I was flattered that she would ask me advice on her other clients. I just thought, oh my gosh, a 75-year-old woman with a PhD wants my advice on what she should do with her clients. So then November rolls around, and I'm about to meet my psychiatrist in person for the first time. So I wear a really pretty dress, I do my makeup, of course, right?
But
And
no, there's no of course about that. That's weird. That's strange.
I show up, and I get to talk to the office manager, we're having fun, and then my psychiatrist comes into the foyer, and I am just so excited to finally meet him. I've been his patient for 3 years at this point, and he had been feeding the dynamic for 3 years, and I was just thrilled to meet him. And I ran up and I gave him the biggest hug. And you know what he did? He barely patted me on the back. It was the most awkward thing ever. But I'm so
Probably because he's not interested in you. He's probably not as interested in you as you are in him.
glad that he did that. I'm really glad, because this is what I mean. My psychiatrist does many things, but he was not stupid. So I didn't ever touch him again. And I'm grateful that our relationship didn't ever cross that line, because it would have made everything so much harder. Anyway, so we go inside his office, and I tell him
There
that
was
my
no
therapist
relationship. This is like actually like scary levels of delusion, bro.
had texted me, asking me for advice on her other clients. And he just looked at me and he said, Kendra, that is a huge boundary violation. She should not be doing that. And I was like,
But she shouldn't. Yes.
oh, okay. And because once again, my psychiatrist did not like sloppy people. He did not like sloppy people. And you know what my therapist did? She got sloppy. Yeah. Using me as her advisor for her clients.
I don't believe that actually happened.
It got weird, and I was very grateful for my psychiatrist for pointing out that boundary violation, because I was thinking he didn't ever message me in between appointments because he was too smart to do that. But did he ever stop me from disclosing extremely intimate details? No. In my first in-person appointment, I just asked him for some pointers for my own ADHD business, and he was so smart and so wonderful, and in many ways, honestly. And I was just so grateful that he was honestly a mentor to me in these moments, and I'll still treasure that about him. Because this is the hard thing with sophisticated predators, is that they're not all bad. Like, my psychiatrist helps you with many things, but he was using me for November of 2024, and I did ask him for consent to come in person. I didn't just show up, and he said sure. And the first in-person appointment went great, but that is when I really started to spiral. Some of you think that I'm spiraling now, and that's okay if you want to think that, because the reality is that when I was spiraling was when I was this man's patient. When I had comments turned on, so many people said, you need to take accountability for your own feelings. I spent years taking accountability for my own feelings, for holding the weight of a relationship.
Okay, I'm probably gonna save the rest of this for tomorrow. We got more. This actually is pretty interesting. We're about halfway, anyways. So yeah. Any closing thoughts, comments? Bro's only I said I was tired getting on this fucking stream. I'm jet lagged as shit, bro. I went from fucking Greece to New York to like California in the span of like 4 days. I'm jet lagged as fuck. I'm totally out of it. There's a part 2. Of course there's a part 2. There's always a part 2, isn't there? Don't stick your dick in crazy. Truk. Is there a link to this? Yeah, here's the link. Wait. Here's the link. Alright. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, thank you for helping us hit goal. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for watching this stream so late. Thank you for uncritically defending me, even when I'm completely in the wrong. Please continue to do that. And yeah, I'll be live again tomorrow. So thank you guys. Is there anyone to raid? Is there anyone to raid into? Let's check this out. Who's live? Wait, fuck. Customization, redirect. There's nobody live right now. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Have fun, guys. Have fun. See you soon. Bye-bye.